Did I post the Dark Tide gameplay in here? No, then I will.
Anna, did you? I'm not your mother.
Wow, settle down, okay?
I'm settled down. Whoa, things got epic.
That is loud.
Is this combat?
We're in combat. We're fighting for our lives.
I'm pretty sure you're just fighting the guy sitting across the table, and it's really just us holding you back as you flail your arms and legs.
That's very true.
Well, actually, if I remember the end of last episode correctly, he was just escorted out, and that's what
Yeah.
we called it.
Yeah.
I got thrown out.
Timely reappearance. The dungeon awaits.
I still love the fact that there's like Twitch versions of that Darkest Dungeon announcer.
It's good shit.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, they the developers commissioned the guy to do those for us. I love it.
I'll be right back.
I love the fact that in the Dark Tide gameplay, you can see the Ogren just smashing shit with the grenade launcher or the shotgun, as is true to lore.
You see, I want to play as Skitari.
Oh god, I want to play as a Skitari, but I know it's probably not gonna happen.
And if I do play as a Skitari, you know exactly the name I'm going to change it to.
Oh fuck, what's his name?
Sword Maniac Pipe Brain.
Yes, hello.
So I just realized we have more timeout rooms here than streaming rooms now.
Yeah, and
Oh,
people keep asking for more.
What? Why? Why do we have a well?
Well, I mean, okay, so originally it was the timeout corner, which then became the timeout lake, because a friend of mine who likes to do puns plays an android in a kind of game on SL, roleplay sim. And we keep joking about if he gets thrown into the lake, then he just shorts out and dies. So that's why the timeout corner became the lake. I've always made jokes about throwing people into the sun. And then, of course, there's Zerth, who's a alligator or crocodile, whichever. And, you know, he likes being thrown into the lake, so we needed a solution for him. The well came about because, so one of my characters on The Sims 4 died, and they have a wishing well that can bring people back to life. And so I bought it and placed it down, on like the 100th floor of a giant apartment building that my Sims were living in. And so, you know, the joke is that this, as soon as I put in this well, it shot a stone wall going all the way down into the bottom levels of the apartment building.
Wait, does it actually do that if you place it up on a high floor? Like, does it actually shoot a wall down, or is it just like it's there?
It's just there, but that's the joke. That's the kind of the joke that we're making about it.
The head cannon, gotcha.
Yeah.
I think the professor is rubbing off on you.
What do you mean?
That was long-winded.
He wanted an explanation. I had
did.
to provide context.
I mean, he did provide ample context of why the timeout core became the timeout lake and the timeout sun came into existence. And no one asked for the timeout well, but you made it anyway.
No, people did ask for the timeout well. See, clearly I did not explain it enough, whereas the professor would have been so thorough.
Well, I'm jumping in the lake.
So what are the other timeout places that people are asking for? I'm curious.
I don't remember what else they've asked for.
You don't remember one other request for timeouts?
I think
Not a
one
one.
of them was the timeout swamp.
No.
I almost feel like we maybe need the stasis chamber.
Oh yeah, the stasis, timeout stasis chamber was a request.
See, at this point, why don't you just make a timeout open square bracket insert title here close square bracket and just make everything that?
Because it's not as good. I know one person was suggesting that I make timeout Mars, or timeout Moon, timeout Mars, so forth, leading all the way to the sun. So, you know, the severity of the pun or whatever got you sent to the timeout place, you would go to the appropriate level of away from here.
I feel like that's already amply done with well, lake, and sun.
Yeah, but there's still a big jump between, you know, lake and then suddenly, all right, to the sun.
Do I want to drown you or do I want to incinerate you?
I mean, we could always send people to the fucking moon!
Send them to the moon for 1,000 years?
I'm glad somebody got the joke.
Who got sent to the moon for 1,000 years?
A princess?
Princess Wuna.
Yeah. Oh, that, yeah.
She was a little nuts at the time, though.
Yeah. So I've
A
been
little
told. I haven't really followed up with that lore, but I've been told.
Oh, thank you, Lightpaw, for the resub. I've been busy finishing a couple things up. Didn't notice. Sorry. I know it's you, Samimi. Thank you. Your contribution to the prolonged existence of the channel is greatly appreciated.
My Spotify is not working. Oh. Oh no, there it is. Okay.
That's fine. Now I've got royalty-free
Looking at
music
authorized
to
apps.
use.
I can confirm this. I showed him the bundle.
Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Retrograde Renegades Starfinder. Who should we have do the recap?
My personal vote is for Ricky.
Yeah, but didn't we have him do it last time?
No, last
That's very
time we
true.
took it off of him.
Yeah,
Did we?
that's the reason why I didn't want to do Ricky this time, was because last time I thought we did Ricky.
No, we didn't do him last time. I'm pretty sure last time it was like Pellet or something. Because you were concerned last time that we did Ricky. So we didn't do Ricky last time.
Well, okay. Ricky, you're up.
Okay, so last time, 2 weeks, well, I mean, like a few hours ago, we broke our way in, started fighting in kind of a broken, rundown shantytown sort of place, little smuggler's den. Lots of shady characters, opportunities for bad shit to go down. Continued fighting with Mara and his goons. One of which was a giant fucking nanomachine golem, which I think is still out there, pacified because he went and fucking surrendered. It's fair. I guess if I was in his position, I'd probably do the same, because they'll probably let him survive. God knows I wouldn't. Gollum ended up infecting Eddie with something. It infected Samimi too. And
That wasn't fun.
no. And I managed to bring me back. Made sure that Samimi got into the stasis tube for long enough to get a cure up, but Eddie didn't make it. Yeah, that's all. I'm gonna leave it at that. Because right now I'm unfortunately restrained from beating the tar out of Mara. And I just gotta fucking watch through the glass, knowing for a fact that he can see me through it. Whatever. I know Benny and Pellet at least got the sense in him that he ain't exactly a stand-up guy.
Definitely.
Maybe they'll have the guts to go do a few rounds on him before they get thrown out.
I mean, I got a company I gotta represent, so...
That's it. Ricky's gonna
freelance.
just holler and yell at the cops as they bring him out, but he's not gonna raise any more trouble than that. Just gonna be a nuisance.
They will let you watch from the observation room, but they do ask that you kindly calm down and quiet down.
I'm grumbling under my breath.
Oh him come!
This is my calm voice.
Pop casually loads up their spring charge, fucking taser.
So that leaves, I believe just Pellet and Benny inside the interrogation chamber with Mara, who's just casually sitting there. You almost feel like there's a smile on their face, if they could smile.
They seem a little bubbly, I assume.
Well, just if their face could smile, you're absolutely certain it would have this very smug grin watching Ricky be taken away.
That bastard. Anywho, we were asking him about the thing, the brain thing that he called special pattern.
The engram.
The engram, that's it. So the engram's a copy of Ricky.
No. That failure that left was a prototype. A failed prototype, I might add.
So from my understanding, you're the original.
Yes. And
He
the
gives us
latest
up.
version.
Yes. The original and the latest version. Which makes the most sense. So was Mario your name before?
It's always been my name. However, I'm sure we're not here to speak pleasantries and be social.
I mean, we've been
Absolutely
doing
not.
basically that for the past, 10 minutes now?
I have something I want, and I want to figure out the way to get that.
I mean, we've already presented you options.
I want to leave. I want freedom, a
You
ship,
know what we want.
for Ku to be returned.
Mm-hmm.
I've made that deal, and your friend, the failure, was rejecting that at every turn.
Well, now you can deal with me. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're kind of in a worse state to help out with. I mean, beforehand, giving you that stuff would have been somewhat easy, and I'm going to be honest. Negotiations kind of fell apart. At this point, though, if I'm going to get you the things you want, well, I got to stick my neck out a little.
Knowing your reputation, sticking your neck out seems commonplace.
Is it, though?
You don't have a habit of keeping your head down.
That's
He's-
true.
He's right.
That's true, but I didn't have a company to worry about before now, did I?
And he is right.
So you have other priorities apart from Ku. Well,
Everyone's got their own priorities, don't they?
true. Thought your most pressing one was the rescue of the traitor.
It is right now.
As I said, once I'm on a ship, safely off the station, I will gladly transmit the antivirus.
All right. Let me rephrase this. Is there absolutely any way we could come to an agreement that comes with you transmitting things before you leave, and then us getting things ready for you?
I see no reason for me to be set free once I have released Ku.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't either, but I was just trying to be a nice guy. All right. Well, you're going to keep your bargaining chip until it's pried from your hands, so I'll leave you to waiting. He says as he gets up and moves to step
As
out.
you leave, he'll. Do you think that's my only bargaining chip?
That's the only one I care about. What other bargaining chip could you have?
You receive a ping on your device, on your comms device.
He looks down at it.
Someone has just bought 1 million shares in Phoenix.
Interesting.
Damn, when'd you go public?
We went public
Yeah?
when we announced the fucking serum.
A smart move, I will say.
That's fair.
He just looks at it, looks back up at him, looks at it. Am I supposed to be impressed?
I can take them away just as easily. Consider that a down payment on my freedom.
You can have your shares back. I've been rich before.
Why do you send me mixed messages as a player? I literally asked, what is your wish list? And one of them was an investor for Phoenix Foundation.
He doesn't want this investor.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, is you're dangling the big bad evil guy as being an investor. Why would we want that?
Well, you didn't say that. You just said a large-scale investor for Phoenix Foundation.
That was one of them. There's two others in there. I mean, if he doesn't take him back, he doesn't take him back. But like, it's like, what, you're trying to bribe me? No. I mean, I don't know how else to take this besides you are just bribing me right now. Like, come on, dude, this is pathetic.
Wouldn't that make him a majority shareholder?
Not
I
if
assume Benny was clever and only put up 49%.
But yeah. I was going to say, basically, if he bought a million
Actually,
shares.
no, because Benny doesn't have 40. Well, he could not put up 49% without giving up majority share.
Why is that?
Because
oh, yeah,
the
because
professor.
Professor has a quarter. So, well, I mean, basically, I would put up the percent amount. That would be how many shares we have. Okay, here's how many I have. Here's how many the professor has. I put up the amount needed to maintain majority without, giving up the company. So basically, it could be a million shares, though, because I don't really know how many shares a company necessarily has.
A lot of companies will create more shares as demand exists.
I mean, yeah, that was another thing is I didn't know if, like,
Basically,
did
the
not
way
know.
stocks work is you are buying a percentage of the company, and the value of each stock is that percentage of the value.
Yeah, which makes sense. But I've also heard that companies can just make more, which doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me. It's like, did you just lessen the value of all the other ones then, or?
Yes, when you do, it's like printing money.
Okay.
Lessen the value of everything else. But in your case, if you were to create more stocks, you'd be creating 4 new stocks for every one someone wants to buy. 2 for yourself, 1 for Zim, 1 for public investing. That way, Zim maintains 25% share value. You maintain 50% share value, and that's why companies, when they increase stocks, it's such a big impact, because they have set numbers of people that have a set number already, and they have to maintain their percentage.
So I've actually seen this myself over the course of, the pandemic and my ventures into investing. So companies, if their stock value gets too low, they will sometimes combine stocks, in which case they will give stocks out to those that were investing higher value stocks, but less of them, based on the value of what they had previously. Like, I had one company I had 5 stocks in, and they decided to merge stocks together, and I wound up actually ahead because what I had was only about $5 worth of stock, but they were basically combining them into 10 to 1, so I wound up going from $5 to $10 worth of stock.
Okay.
Or they will split it, and even then they give more stock to their existing investors or rather, they will do that if they want to keep their investors happy.
Yeah.
Which obviously, if everybody starts leaving en masse, that would basically drive them into the ground. So, they would make sure that you still have the same value, you just have more stocks.
Right. Okay. So there's also the note to be said that this is a fairly new company. 1,000,000 stocks could literally just be like $1,000.
No, it would be
There's-
it's typically the minimum would be $1 each.
Okay.
Otherwise, the stock gets unlisted.
So,
Oh,
to put it in
there's-
perspective, in game terms, it's a lot of money. The reason I'm saying stocks, not credits, is that way you can't, as a player, take it out.
There's
It's company money, not
yes.
personal money.
Which is what I wanted, by the way. If that was
There-
like I didn't
there's-
want to just
There's also a distinction to be made between investing in stock in a company and investing in controlling stock in a company. Because sometimes the stock that is released doesn't come with a seat at the table, so to speak, meaning that you don't get to vote on matters relating to the company, you just get to reap profits.
Well, no. All investors do get a say in matters. It's just a matter of your say may be worth less than 1%. And so, while you technically have a say, you really don't.
It's like the US voting system.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
that.
basically. That said, if all of the investors agreed with you and it was against the board and the board didn't quite have enough, controlling interest, then the investors can overturn it.
It depends on
To
the
move away
company,
from
but a lot of the time
actual-
that's basically just threatening to strike or threatening to sell your shares. Anyway, back to the table.
Yeah, moving away from real world stuff,
Please.
Mara has bought a lot of shares and a lot of money, or spent a lot of money on the Phoenix Foundation.
And Benny gave his response.
I assume everyone is listening in on the TACnet as well?
Yes.
I mean,
I am.
I think everyone's there already.
The
no, wait,
professor is
Professor is,
only
yeah.
somewhat listening. He is on the ship, and he is currently working on the coup problem to find his own solution.
I believe Pellet is in the room with him.
Yes.
No, the donation.
So Mara is going to turn from...
Wait, I forgot to change the donation goal, sorry.
Yeah.
Mara is going to turn from Benny to Pellet. And what sweetener or down payment would be required from you? He seems to think for a moment. And you'll receive a ping notification on your device.
Why do you think
Naturally,
you
I
can
look
buy
at it.
us?
Hmm?
Why do you think you can just buy us?
What do people who have near unlimited money think?
What?
They're used to having near unlimited money.
Yeah.
You mean
So-
like Betty used to be?
So Benny says to him, "Why do you just think you can buy us?"
The same
was in
reason
character, if that
Betty
was not
used
clear.
to?
In character?
Yes, that was said in character.
Because I have things that you desire.
Squints. Like he can't argue with that.
Pellet had looked at his his communicator or phone or device. What did he see?
You see a photo of skiing.
You have my attention. What is?
Oh God, what does he send you?
You see, bribing you with an offer of something is less likely to get a result. Whereas,
So this is a threat.
yes.
Oh God damn it!
You'll then receive a second photo of Kickstart.
Are they on our ship or are they like off our ship?
I
These
assume
are-
they're on.
So if you actually compare the photo to the TACnet, these are photos being taken now from the TACnet.
Do the photos show them on the ship?
The photos are on the ship.
Wait,
So
he's still connected to our TACnet. We never disconnected him from our TACnet.
You can't.
You literally can't.
God damn it!
Getting back in.
And we can't go without a TechNet. This
not?
is a problem. Well, unless we aren't on the ship or whatnot.
Why can't we make our own privatized connection?
Because a TACnet needs a supercomputer to run.
Okay, and I'm saying like just make like a fucking scritter call with that we're all in, and just like put it on a Bluetooth.
That's not going to stop him being able to access the ship, though.
Okay, yeah, but it like allows us to communicate outside of him is like the point. So we don't have to like turn TechNet off, turn TechNet on, just like say something so that he can't hear us.
I mean, once he gives Coup back to you guys, you will get your TACnet back.
I mean, yeah, no, I didn't think we would. I thought he would be there forever. This is sarcasm.
And here I am holding a squirt bottle. I nearly pointed it at the screen to try and squirt you.
Don't do that. It's
Would have been
What would have
bad,
worked out the way you thought?
especially because it's a laptop.
It's just I say a really bad pun, suddenly Jaffer disconnects. Oh no, he did it. The madman. Did you get that squirt bottle just for your wife, by the way?
No, actually, I have it because for cats.
Okay.
They sometimes scratch at the door or scratch the carpet in here, so...
Fair enough, fair enough. I used to have one for dogs as well. Which, of course, was inevitably used on people as well.
One sec, guys.
Hi, boys. Have a good game.
Thank you.
The plan.
You're welcome. Oh, awesome, possum. All right, bye.
Bye.
And I'm back.
Welcome back. She seemed delightful.
She's always delightful.
That's probably why you kidnapped her from Chicago,
Texas. Houston.
Texas.
That's like a big airport. Anywho.
So, he'll just sort of turn away after sending Pellet those little pings. And yes, he fully admitted that it's a threat.
Pellet will pull Benny out into the out of the room. And talking over the TACnet, he's gonna tell everyone, I'm going dark for a moment. I'll be back in a... Don't worry if you don't get a response for a few minutes. And...
Hello, testing. Am I here?
Oh, I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. A bit of lag there.
Okay. He'll direct you to turn yours off as well.
Yep, I guess I'm going dark too.
Did he seriously just fucking bribe both of you?
So you're still on the tech now. I mean,
I'm
Ricky-
right here. I've been watching the interrogation.
Yes, I know.
I'm
You're
From
still on-
outside,
I'm
yeah.
happy enough to assume you guys are off the TAC at this point to talk.
Alright, so it's only gonna be between us three?
Technically,
So
he
it's-
kind of bribed me and the professor at the same time.
Yes, but mine
Wait,
was
when
not
did he
a
bribe the
bribe.
professor?
He bought a bunch of shares in Phoenix, which got a bunch of money for me, but also a bunch of money for you for your research division because you were like a quarter shareholder of stock.
The professor doesn't have that much of an interest, to be honest.
Ricky's just gonna shake his head.
I
He's
mean,
gonna
you're
turn to,
literally my head of research, so I would hope so.
Ricky's going to. He's gonna shake his head. He's gonna turn to the cops that are in the room. Can I go back in, please?
How much money would it
Just
take?
like
to,
for a little bit.
Wait, before you go back in, we have to discuss.
What?
I was not bribed. I was threatened.
It's blackmailed.
That is far closer, yes.
Okay.
He sent me these.
Ricky, do
Did
me
they
a
just
favor.
pictures?
Yes, but they were taken right now.
I mean, he's on our TechNet. Of course, they were taken right now.
Yeah, but if he has access to our TACnet, what else could he get access to? Can we say for sure they are safe?
My God, boy cloak.
I don't know.
What's the professor rolling computers for?
What I said earlier, the professor's trying to work on the coup problem.
He did say that.
Oh. Okay.
He's trying to find his own solutions.
So with a 40, you're able to determine that she is completely isolated right now.
God, a 40.
With a 40, though, you do avoid receiving the necro code backlash damage.
Well, yeah, but he's gonna be pushing through to find a solution.
Are you gonna push through anyway?
Yeah.
Give me a d6.
I assume that's how much damage I take?
Yep, and that's just straight damage to your health. So pushing through means you will continue to take damage. How long are you willing to try and rummage around in Ku's code?
Well, the professor is very stubborn, if you guys haven't been able to tell.
So I guess the real question here is how much HP does the professor have?
Yeah, basically. He'll keep pushing until he gets somewhere or is basically about to die.
Wait till you get into the subsystem and he starts rolling d20s for damage.
To be fair, the professor has worked with this stuff before. Quite a bit.
Alright. Give me a life science roll.
I am contemplating him also working... Ha-ha!
44.
On a antivirus, basically. Just like he did with the... This is a potential if he can't, remove it through other means. And basically the same way he did with the nanomachines and make a, for lack of a better word, arc steel antivirus.
Alright, so the arc steel only works as an inoculant against the nanobots because it actually fights them directly. At the moment you're dealing with pure code. So
you said that we were dealing with a virus.
Yes.
So he could possibly write a antivirus. A code that seeks out and destroys this code.
And thus NordVPN was born.
Actually, considering we keep coming across this necrocode, long-term project achieved.
What?
Long-term project goal set.
Yes, sorry.
As DM, I'm sort of ahead on that front, so we'll keep working for now. So that life science roll means you are able to at least identify that the necrocode is entirely, basically the code is entirely surrounding Ku. As you're working through it, it feels more like you're doing microbiology than coding.
Well, then he'll just have to get the biology department on board.
I'm saying because everything is constantly moving and changing, you can see that both Ku and the necrocode are alive in a sense.
So basically, this virus is an AI.
Yes. And for Samimi, you will get a response back that they're currently investigating options. So while the professor tries to kill himself with necrocode, we'll jump back to the off-TACnet discussion and try and wrap that up quickly. So one of you has received a bribe, the other has received a threat.
But yeah, I got bribed. Didn't accept it, but I can't really not accept it. Unless he just sells the stocks.
Yeah, yours is easier to deal with. Mine is a bit of a problem.
Actually, hold on. Benny goes up to talk to one of the cops.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I just got a recent payment to my account in the form of a large lump sum of cash. Is there any way we could track that to see the source?
They said they'll try and raise some from Abadar Corp, see if they can trace it.
He gives a nod and then goes back to the conversation.
And to answer Ricky's question from earlier, they will let you back in the room, but if you lay a hand on Mara, you will then be arrested.
All right.
Arrested for what charges?
Assault.
What if he doesn't press charges?
At this point, the police can be pressing charges because they have warned you.
Fair enough. What's bail on assault?
Ricky's been thinking extremely hard about all this. He's basically
Seriously, I'm going to ask what bail on assault is. Because he's going to do it.
As they say, if he's been warned, he's probably not going to get bail.
If you let him in there, he's probably gonna do it.
I didn't want to say it.
not letting myself get set up like that.
He looks to Ricky, seeming a little bit surprised. All right. I mean, if you're able to control yourself.
No, I'm not going in there.
That works too.
My vote says let him go.
Wait, what?
You heard me.
Let him
Let him go. Get Ku back. Shit's bigger than me. As much as I fucking hate it. I don't want to see him ever again. And I storm out of the room. And on my way out the front door, I kick it open so hard that I smash it. Just shatter it against the wall as it slams open.
Give me a strength check.
Ricky gets arrested for vandalism.
I'm very angry if that matters.
Okay.
God damn it. Do I at least make it really, really loud?
No, it's a sliding door. So you go to kick it and it just slides out of the way and you nearly faceplant.
I got my message of fucking cross. I'm going home.
This is a very secure door.
I just imagine he face plants and then holds up his middle fingers.
I want to hack the door to make it. Actually, you know what? No, we're leaving. I'm out.
So, when you guys do turn your TACnet back on, immediately upon doing so, Smimi receives a ping.
What? Yes, hello?
It's a image, it's a photo of the Warren.
My hamster is getting antsy. If we be adventurers, let us adventure.
Was this taken
No
from...
karma.
What?
Immediately denying that one.
Yes.
What was it?
Make the door explode.
Yeah, look at the chat. You know, it's right there.
I'm sorry, I was in another stream and I forgot to switch. I'm switched now.
I think this is from our promotional materials.
You'll then receive
people sending me?
You'll then receive a second photo showing a familiar ship appearing in the frame near the Warren.
Is a really junky ship that probably shouldn't have survived.
That is the ship that appears near the Warren.
Son of a bitch.
Uh-oh.
And this is the point where it cuts back to the rest of the party for censorship reasons.
I recognize that ship out of character.
I recognize that ship in character.
I don't think have we seen it in character?
We
Yes,
have.
that's
Yeah, we
No,
were
no,
on it.
No, the new image
Yes.
that Smimi just
image-
got.
Yeah, it's the big rat's ship.
Right, but did Smimi
It's
get
what
this image or did everyone?
Samimi got that image.
Right, so I didn't see that image that Smimi just got.
Great fun
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm saying if I saw this image in character, I would know what it is I see.
Oh yeah, if I had, I would too. I'm saying I haven't seen this image in character.
All right, clarification has been achieved. Let's get back to it.
Somewhere
My
in
hamster
the
is getting
forest.
antsy. If we be adventurers, let us adventure.
Oh, Ricky's disconnected? Okay.
He didn't warn us. I don't know what he's doing.
It's probably wise.
I mean,
I'm just gonna accept it for now, considering what we've learned.
how do you get the pop-up to turn in red?
Good question.
Skills. I got hacking skills.
You do have
It's
it.
because my computer skills so high, okay?
Lesser Restoration. Does Lesser Restoration actually work against ability damage? Actually, I think you were fully healed already.
Benny softly rubs his chin. Do you think we could
Oh,
extort
am I?
I think it fully healed you when you were inoculated.
Oh, okay.
You know, I just realized if we have 1 million stocks bought and it's like $1 minimum per stock, that would mean like the professor himself has like 2.5 million just sitting around in stocks that he could sell.
Depends
As
on the
as
total
owners,
number.
Your stock's different.
What?
You have controlling stocks, which generally don't sell.
Then how do you get the money for them?
As in, stocks are both a money-making and a way of controlling the company. But you guys aren't planning on selling your stocks or selling the company. Therefore, your stocks don't have a value because they're not going to be sold.
I mean, if the professor chooses to sell his stocks, though, which he can choose to do, I assume both myself and the professor can both choose to sell our stocks.
And if you
It's
do
a
sell
lot
stocks,
more
then
complicated than that, but just accept that selling your stocks means you're basically selling the company.
Okay, stock talk. Do we know? Has Samimi said anything over the TechNet about this image?
did Simimi turn off their TACnet before they started screaming?
No.
So Simimi is just screaming expletives throughout the TACnet.
Alright. Pellet is going to wait until they are done and then very firmly ask what is going on.
We would have solid 5 minutes.
Breathe. Breathe again. Breathe a third time and then say something.
There, at the Warren.
Who?
The
Who's-
Skaven.
Okay, I think we are due on board ship.
I thought
You'll hear a slight laugh over the TACnet. Without Ku, that ship's not going anywhere.
You know, we have there. This is that going to stop us? Even
Nope.
remotely? I'm sorry.
The professor is still working to death on this.
Alright, so with the professor continuing to work, roll me a d8, please. And that's the damage, that's the additional damage you take.
No, but seriously, like what do you? Oh no, that ship won't go without Ku. Well, guess what? There's a million ships in this galaxy. Probably billions.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
lots of
and
ships.
and with the controlling it or not the near controlling interest you bought, I think
I
we
mean,
could
if you want
afford
to
a
go
ship.
on a ship that's not the retrograde,
Ship, not.
but the Dreadblight is a battleship class ship.
Question.
Yeah?
You described the ship as being kind of run down and like half spare parts.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that anymore. In fact,
Oh.
it looks very clean like it does in that picture now.
Mm. Also, have you heard of orcs? Don't underestimate the greenskins, all right?
Okay,
Pepper,
the
did
big
you see
red
the
is not
influence?
You didn't send it to me.
Ooh. That's a big oof right there.
Oh, yeah, I sent it to Mary for some reason.
Nice.
Oof.
Bloop.
Anyway, the big
What you
red
say
is not
about that?
orcs.
Big red is now orcs.
Is not. It is not orcs.
It is now. Orcs.
No, it is not.
Okay,
All right,
yeah,
if-
I can work with that one.
If we're gonna apply orc logic, then I want there to be a scene where I like make finger guns at one of the rats and they die from me making gun sounds.
Sorry, I was talking to Zim about the influence. I can work with the influence. Look, if you really want to do orcs, it literally is canon that Space Marines ran out of ammunition, pointed their
Yes.
bolters at them, made
And
sounds,
just made gun
and they died.
sounds, and they died. Yes, that's why I said that.
That's beautiful.
Way orc,
because-
a space orc magic works is that they believe it is, therefore it is.
Some people think the only reason the God Emperor is still like alive is because the orcs think he's alive.
That is actually a very good possibility. There's also the fact that, you know, like most of their ships are literally just a lot of their ships are just rocks that they believe have atmosphere and fly through space.
I don't know.
Engineers have literally
They don't
dismantled.
think it has an atmosphere. They just don't know they have to breathe.
They hold their breath when they're outside.
I've heard
It's-
either. I've heard both theories. Yeah.
Literally, they have weaponized the power of ignorance.
Open the window. It's getting too hot in here.
I know in one of the original stories, there's a battle between, in a space battle between an Imperial ship and the Orcs, and the Imperial ship punches a big hole in the Orc ship, and the Orcs cheer because now they've got another hole they can shoot out of.
Why do we have walls? Needless walls.
Anyways.
Alright, so the Professor, as you're trying to trawl through this code looking for what possibly can be done, could I now get a mysticism check from you?
And thus my luck runs out.
28 will still reach the DC. So you are able. So you're not taking additional damage as you search through. You're just taking the damage for staying there. So you are able to identify that Ku appears to be completely encased in this necrocode. there appears to be no way to reach Ku. The necrocode itself is mutating or evolving or changing so fast, you're not sure an antivirus program could take it on.
Okay. Then the professor will just have to develop his own AI.
I was
He's
gonna
done
say
it before.
Antivirus AI, let's go.
You know, I wonder if we can't just put
Wait,
a hard drive with like a lot of bait in it.
pause. The professor has made an AI before?
Yes. So is Ricky.
Are you Ricky's dad?
Yes.
What?
Alright,
Good
well, that's all for
heaven
that.
help us.
What do you think ran to Eddie and what basically gives Toby Cale and Ember the intelligence levels they're at?
Ricky.
Me, yeah. It's all the rolls I do. It's actually for them. Got too much brain.
Right, well. I wonder if we can make a hard drive with like bait on it and bait away the necrocode AI onto the hard drive and then just unplug it.
I don't think code works how you think it works.
I don't really see much else we could do. We're facing risks on multiple fronts here.
Well, I'm getting a lead from the Church of Abadar, and we're going to have the Triune here soon, hopefully. I'm saying this off TechNet for now.
So maybe he's going to start trying to triangulate with her Starstone compass again to figure out where the God Rock is.
Godrock is at the center of Absalon,
Yeah.
isn't it? Buried in the very center under the dome.
Allegedly.
It's somewhere in Abadar Station.
Isn't that where the God Trial is, though? Why have we not talked about the God Trial?
Allegedly.
So, we haven't talked about the God Trial because at some point in the gap, we lost track of it. It's somewhere in Abadar Station, but that's all we know.
Oh.
There's no Cathedral of the Starstone anymore. There's no Starstone Island or anything like that. It's somewhere in the bowels of the station.
So part of the trial of becoming a god is literally just finding the place.
Oh, no. That is the entire trial of the Starstone at this point.
Ah, okay.
Because up until the gap, the trial of the Starstone wasn't something the Starstone itself made. That was something other gods put around the Starstone to prevent people from touching it.
And if you touched it, hey, you're a god now.
Yep. That's how both Caden Kalen and Yomade became gods.
Lovely Caden Kalen.
Who is so pissed drunk he doesn't even remember getting into the Temple of the Starstone.
The god of drink.
All he knows is he went on a bender one night and woke up a god.
Listen, if there's a god that Benny can get behind, that's one of them.
So, as you continue the discussions, you do hear back from the Church of Abadar. It appears several thousand separate people decided to all invest in the Phoenix Foundation within a couple of seconds of each other. They do note that it has started a trend, and now your shares are selling like hotcakes because it's the new hot thing.
So really, even if he took his shares back, he's already done it.
That would actually probably start a market run if he sold all of those shares at the same time.
A market run?
Sort of the exact opposite of what just happened. Instead of everybody rushing to buy because it's the hot new thing, everybody rushes to sell like it suddenly smells like Chernobyl.
Because if someone sells that much, they want out quickly before it gets worse.
Fair enough. Also, is it part of the deal with the stock market that you can't just buy and sell everything like at the flick of a switch? Like,
No,
don't there have to be like buyers and sellers?
Why do you think there are several thousand different accounts that did it?
Fair enough.
Well, there's also like, if you can't sell it at the price that you're wanting, you offer it at a lower price.
Fair enough.
And if you can't sell it at that, you offer it at a lower price.
Well, I go ahead and ask if they can trace any of those individuals to figure out where the closest one is.
They're unable to track individuals because most of these individuals have been running through registered Abadar brokers. They do they do state it's a little odd, and they can run an internal audit on what happened here and why a whole bunch were done at once. But for the most part, it looks above board.
An audit would freeze the assets temporarily, wouldn't it?
No. Just an audit, not a investigation.
Okay.
Yeah, an audit would be them looking over the records and going, "What the heck was that?"
I mean, I know it's above board. My main concern is, like, someone made a purchase with their money through Abadar Corp. That person has to have an account through Abadar Corp. So we literally should have just gotten a whole list of people who I should be blacklisting right now. Like, what?
Go to a bank and ask them for records on people. See how quickly they can respond.
Okay, that's a bank. This is Abadar Corp in the future, where, like, stupid magic stuff mixed with highly advanced technological stuff.
It's a super mega bank. They're not going to be giving out details like that randomly, and they have everybody's account.
Would they be able to do that for police investigation?
They said that they'll run an audit, but it's going to take time.
Is an audit a police investigation?
No, but a police investigation would be an audit as well.
Okay, I would want a police investigation because these people, those people who just, that 1,000 people, that first 1,000 people who just dropped in cash, probably about the same amount. Maybe, I don't know. Everyone who donated around X time, where X time is being whatever time it was where he made that offer, all those people need to be investigated for potential collusion with the City Mind.
Yeah, that's a very big claim you're making there.
Yeah. Did you not hold on? This is happening in a police station. You saw this interrogation. You literally have the recording. You saw me get pinged and then get millions of stocks.
We don't know what your message was.
He shows them the message.
Okay, they can begin investigation, but like a new company receiving a bunch of buyers at the same time isn't exactly that out of the ordinary.
It isn't that out of the ordinary, but when paired with the fact that this guy is literally attempting to bribe me, I wouldn't be surprised if just quite a few of these people happen to either be held at gunpoint being told to put money into my business, or they just happen to work for these people. After all, I should know my literal dad was one of them, and I didn't know for the longest time.
And I said, we will conduct an audit and investigation.
Okay. I guess that's all I can ask.
It will take time, though.
I guess that's all I can ask.
Because I want this to remain Starfinder, not Economy Simulator.
I mean, I was trying to turn it more into, like, police investigation, but okay. Like suddenly we just get a bunch, like, a list of people, we gotta track them down, bounty style. At least that was my vision. I don't know what you were thinking.
I was thinking I was trying to
apparently.
It's retrograde bebop.
Was it the plot of Cowboy Bebop? You gotta hunt people down and stuff?
He was a bounty hunter.
I didn't know that. I'll have to watch it sometime.
Alright, but you guys still have the problem that the retrograde is stuck here. You've got threats against people on the ship. You have threats against the Warren.
I do not want to leave the people on that ship unless we are there.
We do have friends in high places. Let's just ask around see if anyone can provide us a ship that size. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the religious folk would have at least one.
They do have large ships, but not large combat ships.
Really?
Yeah,
That's not
that bigger groups could get in hot water for having combat ships.
There's not like a god of war or something out there where it's just like, look at my combat ship. You're never gonna fight me.
Oh, each church does have sort of a capital ship that would be appropriate in combat. But you're now talking about going to the US and saying, "Hey, can I just borrow the entire Enterprise carrier group?"
Listen, I'm trying to stop the retrovirus or whatever Samimi was calling it.
Retro necrovirus.
Oh, and
So at this point, because Samimi, a threat against Samimi that you'd need a ship for is, okay, I want to borrow the entire carrier group to go take out a pirate ship.
Yeah, not likely.
I need the entire carrier group, just one decent ship and my jet.
Yeah, you do not have enough clout to be borrowing battleship grade ships.
Quick, how do we generate clout? I need to put some dank Fortnite videos on YouTube's.
Alright, so back to Professor. You're still trying to work on this antivirus, I assume?
An AI
Are you
antivirus, yes.
Are you still inside the necrocode system, or did you back out of it?
Did you consider taking a copy and or sample of the necrocode?
Well, the thing is, the professor would probably have left it open, you know. Keep an eye on it here and there while he's working on this AI.
Alright.
But me as a player is like, I'm going to die. But that's what the professor would do.
So this would be a D12.
You skipped D10!
Yes. Oh, we'll be coming back to D10s later.
Okay.
I feel like it's growing at an exponential rate because it went from 6
It goes
to 8.
D6, D8, D12, D20, percentile.
Oh. Is the percentile like 100 damage or?
Well, if you rolled 100, then yes.
Well, so that's a D100 is what you're saying.
Yes.
Hey, Professor, it was good knowing you. Rest in peace, buddy.
Why do you think I'm asking before every time? You know, are you staying?
This time, the professor will back out of it.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to close that tab.
Why is
Ah,
my
yes, the
nose
bleeding-
bleeding?
No, it's more like your ears.
And eyes. It's like.
Also,
Well,
if
actually,
you have any fillings, they're kind of like closing in on themselves now.
once you get to the D12 to D20 range, that's when your pores start to bleed.
Ah, yes, I'm secreting blood. This is not good. Click. Much better.
And by the time you reach the D100, you're going to be dead in a couple of rounds.
At that point, your skin is just literally peeling off.
No. At that point, your bones have melted inside your body.
Oh, when does the skin peeling off start?
Yeah, skin doesn't peel.
Let's not dwell on that image.
Let's make a plan, guys.
Well, I currently have some accounts being audited. Do the police have a negotiator?
I'm trying to make a phone call.
Make the phone call.
My brother's in a stupid meeting.
Wait, who's the
Pellet.
meeting?
Pellet's going to be reminded that he can make a phone call, and he's going to go off and do so with Scheme.
Hmm. Do the police have a negotiator, though?
Yes, the police have negotiators available.
I'm going to ask them for what they think we should do.
Well, it seems he does have your ship pretty much at his mercy. It's his bargaining chip. And he
Right.
seems unwilling to release the ship without basically getting free himself.
The professor is going to find a way.
Or die trying.
This AI antivirus will come in useful later as well. Because if we keep coming across this necro code, basically the goal of it is purify.
Ah, yes, the circuit board of Arc Steel. I wonder if that does the necro code do that? Does it like turn any of its like circuit boards and stuff into like the metal?
No.
Okay, that's good to know. It's good to know that modern copper can contain this power.
I imagine we're probably up to ferrofluid circuit boards at this point.
I mean, you're probably right. I'm sure there's some copper circuit boards out there, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the last one that was in use was in Eddie.
You mean Ricky? He's still using it.
Too soon.
That's why I'm making this joke out of character.
So, Ricky, we found some vacuum tubes in Eddie. You want to explain?
Reliable and unhackable.
Fair enough.
Also, it just gives a much warmer sound, alright?
Wom.
I swear he just tried to sell me a vigor.
What is this, a rapture?
Columbia, thank you.
So yes, when asking the police what their thought is, if you need to if you need to get your ship out, or you need your ship, they may not have much of a an option.
We don't need our ship necessarily. We can work around that. It's more these other things, the threats, that are of issue.
Pellet will then return and say, Scheme and Kickstart are fine, no
Goddamn.
complications.
Yeah, they are fine.
I just reported
For
in.
now.
Yes, they are fine right now, but I just reported in to be sure.
So, the professor will now receive a ping on their communicator.
I'm not liking that noise.
What noise?
Those pings.
Professor receives 3 photos. One of Toby Kale, one of Ember, and one of the storage cube.
You mean the things with him?
As in, you have the cube with you, do you?
He has Cube, and he's always got at least one of them out. Right now, it would probably be Ember.
So you're getting photos of Ember, Toby Kale, and the cube.
From like a weird back angle of the.
I
of the ship.
am going... Because right now, the professor may not have even realized he got it.
Solid 15.
I was mostly
15's
rolling for the die roll itself, which I would say he's got no idea he got that.
Is that heard over the TechNet?
Yeah.
Yeah, right now the professor is just enraptured in his work.
All right. And, you guys will hear Mara speak up over the TechNet again. I'm still waiting on a response. I want my freedom.
Yeah, well, it's kind of something hard to negotiate.
Oh, it's easy. You tell the station to provide me with a ship, a jump-capable ship, drift-capable ship, and I release coup and go on my way.
So, interesting question. Is there an equivalent to, say, a car bomb in this universe?
Ships do have self-destruct, yes.
Is there a way to remotely activate a ship self-destruct? And if so, would such a change be notable?
I suspect it would be notable because during... because it actually takes up a slot on the ship. So some small ships can't mount self-destructs. The self-destruct is also big enough that it has its own inbuilt game rules on what the self-destruct does. So,
Oh, weird. Okay.
yeah, it would be big enough that it would be noticeable that a ship is fitted with one.
What about an ignition interlock system on the drift drive?
Well, so it won't turn on or is stuck on.
No, so that it will only turn on if you can successfully blow a 0.2 on a breathalyzer. Or 0.002 on a breathalyzer.
Robot
And, you
looks
know,
down at itself.
considering robot, yeah.
That also means that Ricky wouldn't be able to fly his jet. Or his.
Well, no, I'm saying,
transport.
would it be obvious if we equipped the drift drive with an ignition interlock system?
I suspect so. I do have one more ace up my sleeve, but I'm hesitant to pull it. So Mara is going to give you guys... This is your last chance before I take something really drastic.
The guys, I don't know if we have a choice. Do you think he'll do something to Ku or to? Well, the worst part is we don't know what he'll attack or whatnot.
You know what? This was mainly Ricky's fight anyway. Ricky said let him go. Let's let him go.
Yes, and then he disappeared. I think he might have a something in mind.
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe he's just pissed.
I trust Ricky. It took me a while, but I trust Ricky.
So the party is going to let Mara go.
I'm voting yes.
I'm heavily voting yes.
I'm
Does my
specifically-
size mean I count for 2 votes?
No. You can't just give me majority. That'd be illegal. We call that voter fraud, which apparently there's a lot of in America. Apparently.
So as people are voting, I have yet to hear a solid yes from anyone. Someone has to actually pass it on.
Samimi? Professor?
We do need your input.
The professor isn't listening?
The professor has not been listening to the conversation at all. I have, but the professor himself has not.
But he's going to go ahead and spam pings at the professor.
Nope. What? Yes? Hello?
You just see on your IM at professor, at professor, at professor. Yes, we need a vote. We're thinking we're just gonna let the guy go and cut our losses. I mean, cut all of your losses. I'm actually making a profit out of this. Hello, Professor?
Why would we let him go?
We kind of need Ku back, and it's my understanding everyone's getting blackmailed, besides me. But that's because I have like literally nothing to blackmail, so he's trying to.
I am currently working on the coup problem.
Well, yeah, but unless you're like 2 seconds away from doing it, he's threatening something worse than just blackmail, which makes me think you might be able to make a move. So I'm like, innocent people might get hurt, and just throwing it out there for consideration. So far, we've got 2 votes to let him go. Ricky said to let him go too. That's technically 3 votes, but I kind of want both of your guys' inputs. Mimi, what do you say?
I suppose if everyone says yes, then might as well. I disagree with it, but we seem to have no choice.
While the party is having the discussion back and forth,
It's not really back and forth. It's more just one-sided, and we're just trying to get everyone to like, okay, yeah, on the same page.
But while the party is having its discussion, you guys receive what appears to be a live video feed from the bridge of a ship. You suspect the ship is the Dreadblight, and it's currently looking at Warren. And then you see a relatively large laser fly from the ship and hit the Warren. Doesn't blow it out of the sky, but you certainly see damage.
My vote remains unchanged.
Then he softly moves to turn his tagnet off. Looks to Pellet, motions him to do the same.
Pellet will.
Alright. What do you say our chances are of killing him and getting out of this unscathed?
Yeah, that was a bit quiet. Could you say that again?
What do you think our chances are of killing him and getting out of here unscathed? Tell me they're low. Just tell me they're low. Tell me they're low.
They are low.
Okay,
but
good. Okay. Turns TechNet back on. And then just mouths, thank you.
He'll nod. We're still waiting to hear back.
Mimi.
So Mimi had sent a text a second ago. I'm on hold.
Yeah, but have you been hearing anything we talked about?
So Mimi, look at the video feed, damn it!
I am looking at the video.
We need a decision now.
Do
By
it!
the way, so Mimi, were you in communications with anyone on the Warren while this was happening?
I think she's trying to get in communication with someone on the Warren.
Because as of that blast hitting, you can't get any communications to or from the Warren.
Get us drifting now!
You heard them.
Alright, Moriarty. Not Moriarty's still my name in Discord. Benny, the boy, he goes over to one of the cops. Goes, hey.
Hurry up
Charges against
already.
him only our charges.
Pardon, sorry?
Damn it!
Actually, I didn't hear you.
Sorry. I liked that for a second. I didn't hear what anyone said.
I didn't hear what you
Again,
said.
damn it!
Okay. Moriarty, you gotta speak into the mic.
Hello, testing 1 2.
Pass 1 2.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, for some odd reason, it's just really bad lag spikes. The question was, if I go up to an officer, is he basically only being held here because of us?
Yes. Like, as you guys hold a lot of clout. If you say we're going to take his offer, get him a ship, let him go, they will work with you. It's like the movie hostage sort of situations. Only, yes, you've captured him, but his hostage is still at risk.
All right, we need to get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get him a drift-capable ship. All the good stuff.
As soon as possible.
I don't know if you guys have any sort of tactics for this kind of thing. If there's something we can do that,
They're able to very quickly get him out of the cell, or the interrogation room he's in, and they very efficiently move him to the docks. A ship, a relatively small ship. You'd guess it's probably no bigger than the jet. Has been set up. It's surprising to see a ship that size be jump capable, but they obviously didn't want to give him a larger ship.
right?
He
Professor.
Released, gets in the ship all relatively quickly now that everyone's actually in a rush. And as the ship is taking off, and just as exiting the docking ring, he sends a message to the TACnet saying, "You've fulfilled your part of the bargain. Here's mine." And Ku immediately kicks him from the TACnet. Good little,
Yes, Benny, what can I do for you?
I was going to say monitor the coup situation, but it looks like that's unnecessary. How strangely honorable.
If you think Samimi swearing earlier was bad, try having an intelligent AI scream swears at you in every language in existence.
Including dead languages, I'd imagine.
Yeah, Ku's a bit pissed off.
Benny casually pushes the mute button on coup.
Ku's going to ask for everyone to get on board now. She doesn't want to let him get back to Rim.
You know what? That's fair.
I'm on board as soon as I can be. I'll just say that.
Benny's gonna use that jet dash.
So, here's the question. Where do you go? Do you go to Rim to stop Mara? Or do you head to the Warren that's just been attacked by the big rat?
Do we really have a choice in the matter? I mean, Ku can kind of control the entire ship systems.
This is true.
You guys do have the option to choose.
Well,
Ku, you've been cooped up long enough. Stretch your wings.
Is there still a video feed from the Warren?
Yep.
Is the big battleship still there?
It's closing in. It looks like it's going to dock.
Okay. I honestly don't know what the Warren is, but I wish Ricky were on the net right now so we could try to gauge the threat range here. But Samimi, I'm guessing you do not want that thing to dock.
Samimi?
Realize though,
Samimi?
Right, muted. Samimi's kind of been swearing at the communication device and slamming it on her
void
pillow.
cloak there.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Apparently Benny can't for some reason. Anyway.
Yeah.
Samimi is currently slamming her communication device against the pillow, trying to get the ship to go faster.
Testing one.
Hi, Benny. Can you hear Samimi now?
I heard Samimi before. I keep getting this audio lag, which I can tell it's happening because literally the background music cuts out. So it's just I'm just hearing dead silence for a bit, and then I hear some stuff, and then I'm in dead silence for a bit, and then I hear some stuff.
Oh yeah.
Stop downloading stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch the server, see if that helps.
I don't even have Steam open.
I'm a
Alright, I changed the
computer.
server.
Stop all the.
Finally,
But yeah, so
the
Samimi.
question asked if Samimi gonna get through. She's like, "No, I do not want the pirate ship to dock with my home. Pirate
All right.
ship flavors docking with my home, which is a trading hub."
Fair enough. I do need to throw this out there, though. I don't know how far away it is to warp to that place. It might take days for us to get there, whereas we can get on Mara's tail right now. I feel like that is worth mentioning. Do we know how far away the Warren is?
With drift travel, it's you are going to have to make a roll,
Uh,
but it's
should
hours,
just be a
not
single
days.
drift jump, and it's in near space, I think.
So we would get there
But
in
we-
a few.
We still do have the spirals interference for drift travel.
That's true.
So
So it
it'll
would
be-
take a few hours, maybe, with that sort of interference. So, basically, what we're looking at here is, I honestly think at the moment we can do something about Mara, but that situation, I honestly don't think we can do anything about it at
So
this moment.
Mara, you'd have to be following them back to Rim. So your opportunity to attack them would be landing at Rim.
Unless we got there ahead of him. I'm a good
So
pilot.
so it's basically, are you going to try and head to Rim to catch Mara there, or are you going to head to the Warren to try and stop?
Where
the
even
big
are
guy
you right
there?
now?
Where are you guys?
We're running back to the ship.
Yeah, the ship is currently pulling out of the station.
Our ship?
Yes. Everyone's on board, and you guys are currently pulling out.
Oh, everyone is on board. So like me and Pellet got on board.
Yes.
The professor is currently already putting in the coordinates for the Warren. Since he was already on the bridge and stuff, you know, he would have pulled it away as soon as the others got on board.
Like I'm not saying we shouldn't go to the Warren. I'm just saying the situation with the Warren might be over and done with before we can even get there. Even if it's close space, unless it takes them literal hours to raid, which if I know pirates, they don't. They get in and out. It's worth a shot, I guess, but I can't guarantee that we're going to be able to make a difference there. With Mara, I think we'd at least have a chance to do something. I don't know, though.
Ricky's back in the tech net?
He is back in the tech net. Welcome back, Ricky.
I've
We're
caught up.
we're trying to determine if we need to jump to the Warren or if we go after Mara.
I know. Go for the Warren.
All right,
If we're too late, then we're too late. But at least we fucking tried.
fair enough. I'll try to get us there as fast as this damn thing will go.
All right. In that case, can each person on the ship please roll me 2d8?
2d8. Ooh, that's pretty good.
Ha!
Damn, Pellet.
I'm continuing the 15s from last session.
This
All
is a
right,
good
so
place for me.
Unless we
definitely
actually
wants to,
want the lowest.
Simimi definitely wants to get home as quickly as possible.
Got to bypass access codes.
Using a couple of routes that may not be entirely legal and or safe, you are able to cut the travel time down to just 4 hours.
4 hours. That's still a lot of time. Man, the one time we didn't want to get big rolls and all of us got, like, literally above average. Except Samimi.
So Mimi want to go fast. Probably took us through some parts of the drift that were maybe a little bit disturbing.
That was a nebula storm!
Was! It made us go faster.
Is there any piloting roll check I can make to see if I can't even go faster?
Nope.
I can't, like, burn the engines real bad?
No, you cannot.
Damn. Why can't we do more traversal checks like this? I like this.
Every time you make a move, every time you guys use the drift, you guys have to roll for it. You guys just sometimes, like here, specifically made a really good roll.
Even in this instance, that roll ain't good enough. Like, you had to roll 2 ones, and even then, I'm not sure that's enough.
What is the scene?
So you guys will arrive at the station. I don't know where all my tokens have gone.
Benny's gonna, like, instantly start running. Like, once they come out of hyperspace,
My
he's
hamster
instantly
is
running
getting
for his
antsy.
fighter.
If we be adventurers, let us adventure.
In fact, it's probably gonna be, like, 3 minutes before, like, they're projected to come out of, like, you know, the drift. That he, like, starts running to, like, get his ship ready. And
You
his
know
little
what,
fighter
Karma? I'll let that one pass. So, thanks to Karma, it's actually only 2-hour travel time, not 4-hour travel time.
Woo! Alright, this is iffy, but it feels possible to do something now.
I'm pretty sure we skip-stoned off of Triune's bathtub at one point.
Does the Triune have a bathtub? Hold on. That seems counterintuitive for an AI.
I finally found my tokens then. And the update moved folder location for all my tokens.
Oof.
Just putting the tokens down, and then I'll pull the map up for you. Why is this so hard to do?
Well,
I
you see,
apologize.
with you being DM, I had to specifically make it, you know, more challenging for you, just because, you know, you need to get in the mindset to DM better, by pissing you off a bit.
Wait, hold on. I just noticed. I don't know why I didn't look at the donation goal earlier, but why is the donation goal the Grinch?
It is almost Christmas.
You're a mean one.
I will say that the donation goal is one of the mean donation goals.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I was like 50-50 with that name. I was like, You know, the Grinch got good at the end, but...
Faudore, welcome, welcome, Christmas Day.
Jeffrey, when you gonna pop out with another good donation goal?
All right, that's just mean.
I'm sorry, but like they've like almost literally all of them have been bad, save for the tank and a few before that.
And I bribed the GM too, getting coup.
Oh yeah, I mean, was bribing the GM? I mean, we were gonna get coup anyway. And I'm going to be honest, I bribed the GM too. I really don't know what that's done. But then again, we haven't gotten into space combat with the retrograde yet, which might happen
So
now.
I bribed the GM 2, gave you the a big version of the ship. You were going to get something that was just a minor upgrade. I actually drew up 2 different versions. One was normal, and one was the upgraded one that you got. And it's a big upgrade.
I don't understand how, though.
Alright, so dropping out, this is what you find.
Are we in the white?
Yes, you're the white ship.
I'm at the white circle because I don't see a white ship.
Bottom left
down,
corner,
bottom
white
left.
ship.
Oh. Hello there, you look like a star.
The white circle is the Warren.
It's big.
Oh, yeah, that's a decently large space station.
Yeah.
Not a massive one, but decently large.
I'd always hoped to visit one day.
Could you slap that jet out there too?
This is not how I wanted to visit.
Alright. So, what color were we doing the jet? Was it yellow? Black.
It was always black. And I think black for this background will be particularly good. Given that we're apparently just situated in the middle of a nebula.
Yeah, I'm not going to do black, I'm going to have to do the blue. Just for the sake of viewing.
Why not black?
Because the black I've got really does hide. Well, let me show you.
I can see it. It looks fine.
That makes one of us.
Yeah, I can...
Move it forward 2 spaces.
It's the hex directly above. I'll go ahead and remove it. The black was designed to be used for stealth ships and/or dead ships.
Okay, fine. Fine.
Whereas if I drop the dark blue, that's significantly more visible. So that's the retrograde and the jet. Were there any other aircraft dropping out?
I mean, technically I'm a squadron, so...
Tales of our
Yes.
endeavors
Uh,
proliferate.
But yeah, you are a squadron of them, which factors into the damage you deal and everything.
Really?
Yeah, so it factors into your damage and your hit points, but I'm not placing multiple tokens. You're a squadron flying in formation.
That makes sense.
It's more, did Ricky want to pull their ship out as well?
It's not done yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like...
It
I think
is.
that was done.
Yeah, it's not completed yet.
Alright.
I haven't actually put any time to finishing it, but I got all the parts.
Oh, okay. Now we roll initiative, question mark?
Combat tracker. Yep, so you guys will be dropping initiative.
Also, the big ship, that is the ship that we see in the picture, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making
It
sure.
has yet... You managed to get there fast enough, it has yet to reach the station.
What?
Docking actually takes a while when the place you're trying to dock with is hostile.
I was trying to evade you, I imagine.
You know what? I just thought, knowing the big rat, he would just like ram it in there and then walk off the ship. Wouldn't
I
even
don't
go
want to
for...
think about the big rat ramming it in anywhere. Thank you.
Let's not.
Well, you didn't have to take it that direction.
But I have, and now here we are.
Now I feel dirty. I need a shower.
Settle down.
Initiative.
Benny.
Where's my initiative?
On the main page.
Where? I damn, there it is. I swear, I always lose it.
You really lost it.
Wait, isn't it a piloting roll for initiative?
No, it's initiative.
Suck.
Duh. It's initiative for initiative.
This is part of this. This is part of my simplify space combat. So
Oh, okay. I like the other thing though, where it's like if you have a higher piloting roll, you can choose if you want to go first or last. I mean, I guess to be fair, if you have the higher piloting roll, you do go last anyways, so that you
Sorry,
can
I'm about
react.
to explode. Give me a sec.
So, in other words, I'm actually ahead of the curve.
yeah, I've made space combat is basically the same as standard combat.
Boo.
Well, it's better than the old system where one player gets to play and everyone else gets to be the cheer squad.
What?
That's how the old combat used to work for space combat. It was actually rather badly designed.
Are we talking about the Starfinder space combat that they currently have in place on the rulebook?
Yep.
Yeah.
One player gets to play, everyone else is basically cheer squad.
It's not. I mean, it makes sense, but like for a realistic, if we're actually realistically
return.
doing it, it makes sense. It fits. However, for multiple players trying to enjoy themselves, it's boring.
I'm sorry. We're talking about the system where you can literally decide to fix the aircraft, shoot the gun, or pilot the ship on your turn. Where you can literally do anything on the ship.
No.
No. That's
We're
my
talking
modified
about-
version.
Yeah.
I'll have to read back up on the rules, but let's just continue.
Alright, so these fighters appear to be medium fighters, so they're not all that fast or agile, but they do pack heavy shields for their size. This one gets to move. There, that one is swinging around towards the party. Which then brings us to Ricky's turn. So, Ricky, as I think you were either engineering or science.
Correct.
So you get to make one action of anything, so moving, shooting, +1 engineering if you're in the engineering space, or +1 science if you're in the science space. And the free move to wherever you want to be at the beginning. So
I'd like to be in the engine room, and I want to overpower. So that means what's our starship's tier?
Tier is considered your level.
Gotcha. So
because
level
the
9, 2
ship's
times
actual
27,
tier is 20.
37. Okay. So I'm gonna do an engineering check that basically, if I succeed, and I also spend a resolve point.
Yep. Supercharge 3 systems.
Correct. And the DC is 37.
37. You're level 8.
Like that.
So you guys are level 8.
Level 9, aren't we?
9, 18, 27.
There you go.
You guys, yeah, you should be 9.
So 10 plus 27, 37. That will succeed. So I get to choose 3 systems. I'm gonna go towards. I believe I can choose. What's that? Pilot.
It says the engines, science, weapons, or shields.
Engines. I'm gonna do
Engines,
engines, weapons, and shields. So. Fuck.
So engines will give the ship +2 speed. Science gives +2 to all science rolls. Weapons is weapon hit rolls of 1 count as 2, and shields is restore 5% of shields.
All right. So nothing happens to shields, but that's where we'll put it anyways.
Cool.
And then he's gonna put it to weapons and engines.
All right.
And that is going to be my turn, as he is just
That's
working.
half your turn, though.
He's working uncharacteristically silently and efficiently.
So that's just the first half. You do have your second action. So that was your engineering action. You
Oh,
then have a second action as well. Don't forget.
gotcha. I will.
You
I
can
guess I'll
use on
spend
any-
I'll spend another resolve point to try to lock onto the big rat's ship.
I think you're too far away. I did put you guys out at very long range,
That's true.
but you can move the ship.
Well, I'm not gonna
Yeah, that's
deny
100.
any. I'm not gonna deny any offer to press the big lever up front. So I'm gonna move it. I want to move us forward at our speed.
10 because of your boost. So you get to move the ship 10 squares.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Damn the torpedoes.
All right,
Full
Pellet,
speed
you're
ahead.
up. I assume you're on gunnery.
Absolutely. Unless maybe you would like to take the honor for this special case.
I think Samimi's the pilot.
Yeah, I think Samimi's the pilot, because our best pilot is piloting his own ship.
Yes, fair point. Gunnery then. Alright, we are 10 ahead. I didn't see the ship on the screen move.
The white one at the bottom.
I
You're
can't
now-
scroll. I need a mouse to scroll. Let me set that up.
Let me.
I see a blue one. Oh, and I see the white one now. Are we
I
the
got
white
the
one?
white one
Yeah,
because
we're
most
the
of my
white one.
backgrounds, most of my backgrounds are just black space.
Uh,
But I randomly rolled to see which background we got, and this is what came up.
I see. Well, now I know where it is and I can track it. We're still too far out to fire, I believe.
I think you do have some long-range weapons. What are the weapons on your ship? So the frontal arc and... So you will be within range to launch the torpedoes, the main torpedo launcher, which is the big heavy gun.
Mm-hmm.
Your turret has the laser nets. Yeah, so the only frontal weapon you've got is the diamond torpedo launcher.
Okay. In that case, I can do that.
Which is the
Oh,
really big scary one.
I can open the actions. I've never done this before. That's cool. Deploy drone. That's not it. Shoot. What? It's shoot just for any of them.
So as gunnery, you get a free shooting action, and then you get a second action that you can do anything with, and
Okay.
you also don't have to do it. So if you wanted, you can move the ship another 10 hexes and then shoot, or you could shoot twice if you want. So this is the sort of the back to the normal combat. If everyone gets the 2 actions.
Okay. I will move forward 10 and then shoot.
Do you want me to do that for you, or
Is each square 1 or 5?
now each hex is 1. So
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I shall shoot, yes. I've got the ship tab open and the attack with the bonus of 10, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, it should be bonus of 10.
Okay. And the big ship is the big rat's ship, I presume?
Yeah, the big ship is the big rats one.
I must select a weapon to fire. This is my first time doing it in this.
The whole system's a little bit funny. I'm happy enough if you just want to make a roll at plus 10.
Okay. And it's a d20, I presume?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not 10, that's 104. Let me not do that. I have to use a trackpad, so it takes a little longer to get it just right. There we go. Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, with that, you do not lock onto the target.
Thus ends my streak of 15. For well, 16 was the initiative, so that's close enough. My 15, 16, 18 streak.
So the Dread Blight moves. 1, 2. It is heading towards the station. I don't believe it has any rear facings. Nope, it does not have any rear facing weapons, so it's not going to shoot at you.
Oh, okay.
Samimi.
Um, 1, 2, 3. Turn 1, 2.
Also, don't forget most of your ship's weaponry are along its flanks.
Something was funny.
You have a big ship killer missile in the forward arc, but most of the rest of your weaponry are on your port and starboard.
I lost where I was. Can I get there? Because I lost where we were.
I'm happy enough to call it. Looks close enough.
I can count if you really want me to.
I'm going to fire the torpedoes. You said it's at a plus 10?
Let me just double check the math. So you've got from the computer system on board. What do you guys want? Mark 5 trinode. So you're getting +5 from the ship, plus your gunnery, which is your base attack plus dex.
My piloting is higher than my base attack plus dex. Would I use that instead?
You can use your piloting ranks, but not your piloting skill. So your piloting ranks would be 9 ranks, because level 9.
Yeah.
Assuming you've maxed it.
My range
Plus
is
dexterity
11.
plus 5.
Okay, so 9 plus my dexterity is plus 5. That would still come out better for me. It would come out as plus 19 plus whatever the ship gives.
Plus 5. The ship gives plus 5.
Okay, so that comes out as a 19 then. That is better for me.
Which means I may have messed up Pellet's bonus. Because what's Pellet's base attack would be 9 plus your dexterity plus 5. So a 2 on the dice would have still missed, but we'll correct the math for Pellet later.
Alright.
A 24 unfortunately will just miss its target lock.
Well, that's my turn.
Its target lock level is 25, so...
So I need a 6 or more on the die.
Alright, so that brings us to second of the pirates. Who are going to basically swing around to there. They will make a shot their weapon, which isn't actually all that impressive. They will actually get a successful target lock with a missile, and they launch a missile. So at this point, whoever is on gunnery, specifically it says on gunnery because the turrets are flak cannons, so Pellet does get to make an attack roll to try and shoot down the missile with the laser net flak.
Yeah.
So it'd be... What's your dexterity, Pellet?
My dexterity is 15, so a bonus of 2.
Alright, so you'd be at plus 16. So give me 2 rolls of d20 at plus 16. Because you have 2 flak nets built in.
2 rolls at plus 16. Gotcha. That's so finicky. It's hard to do on here.
I do
there.
apologize.
No,
Space combat's easiest to organize.
If I had a mouse, I should go get the mouse after I do this.
Oh, you're doing this touchscreen, are you?
Touchpad, yeah.
Ah. My apologies. It would be a 20 and a 25. The 20 does miss the missile, but the 25 does shoot the torpedo down out of space before it can hit the ship.
Okay.
And that's their turn, so we're up to the other pirate, who's going to position himself there. Turn to face. And they're also going to shoot a torpedo at the players. And they fail to get a lock on, so they get nothing.
Huzzah.
You're up.
Nothing.
Yay!
Hey, sir.
All right, how far can I move?
Your ship's movement speed. If you were to spend both actions moving, you could move double your movement speed, which is...
Should be 15, because I'm pretty sure my thing gives me an extra.
Yeah, so you could move 30. So you can move 15 and then choose what to do with your other action.
I mean, I don't think I can do anything from 15 out. I'm going to be honest with you.
I thought we gave the jet a long-range weapon. Wasn't your coil gun long-range?
No, my tactical nukes were.
Your coil gun's also long-range.
Is it?
Yeah.
Coil gun, direct fire. It just says direct fire. Where do I see the information about it? There's not even like an actions thing for me to roll attacks.
Yeah, because Starfinder does not have good... If you look at the coil gun itself, it's direct fire. And if you scroll down, speed, hex, range, long, damage, 44.
I don't get any of that. I get type light, subtype light, direct fire, PCU 10, cost 6 BP, special dash, and then it's blank. That's all I have.
Oh. Okay, I don't know why it's not giving you that information, but for me it specifically says range, long.
Alright, how far is long?
I believe long is 30. I think it's 30, 15, 5.
Basically, take a Martin, lay them across the map, and that is long.
All right, that's
You're
30.
not wrong.
That's 30 right there.
No, 30 hexes.
Yeah, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 30 hexes. 30 hexes would then be math. 5 times this which would be 15 feet according to this. So I need to get within that range.
Yeah, but don't forget, you can move 15 hexes before you shoot.
Yes.
So you can move half that before you shoot.
Yeah. Okay. And the torpedo's long range as well. What's the speed on the torpedo?
Need to check starships.
Can I just remove this pointer? I cannot move this pointer. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13.
Sorry, it's
14.
5, 10, 20, so long range is 20 hexes. Not 30.
20 hexes.
Should be 100 feet.
Yeah, I think.
Because the system does not track space.
God.
That's
I can just barely get that guy. Ugh.
Make sure you're using a hit scan weapon and not a skill shot.
Weren't there maneuvers that I could do to try and...
So the maneuvers... half move, plus AC, half move. Full power, 1.5 speed.
So what do I need
So
to
you
do?
could move an extra 8. That one will require a flying check DC 15 plus 18.
15 plus 18.
Yeah, 2 times tier plus 15.
2 times tier. I'm a tier 1 though.
No. Tier is level, so 2 times level.
Oh. Plus 15. Oh, God. I'll go for it, I guess.
So it'll be 33 you're going for.
Oh, God. Oh.
So you do not get the bonus speed.
Okay.
But you are still within range to fire, so it's 9 plus dexterity bonus plus... I don't know what your ship had for computer.
I think +0. I think I had like a
Yeah,
trashy
basic,
computer.
so +0. So it'd be 9 plus your dex.
All right, that's decent. My dex modifier.
Yeah, dex modifier.
And this is just a basic D20.
Yep.
I hope that hits.
Oh yeah, that will definitely hit. So roll me 44 damage for your coil gun.
4d4.
Yep.
Wow, that's not a lot. I mean, that's decent.
That's 22 damage because you count as double because of your wingman firing with you.
Oh, okay. That's objectively better. How does the enemy ship look?
You have not pierced its front shields yet.
Oof.
The light ones have light aggressive power, but have a lot of shields on them. They're heavy fighters.
Gotcha.
So we get down to the professor's turn. And I believe the professor was on Captain. So as Captain you get to
and
choose
science, basically.
Yep. So again, you get one action to do whatever you want, and if you choose science, you can use your science action to do any of these science options, which was balance shield, scan enemy, target lock, lock on, or deploy countermeasures.
Deploy countermeasures is, I think that's level 14.
But you could do the lock on, which is DC 15 plus the target's tier, and you just get everyone who shoots at it gets +2.
Okay. How do I do that? Physical science?
So it's a lock on, so it would just be a computer's roll. So a raw computer's roll.
Does that succeed?
These little ones are not. The small ones are only tier 2. So they're low rank fighters. The big one might have given you problems, but the small one's definitely not.
And I guess I'll fire!
Alright, so what's your piloting? 9? 9 ranks put in piloting?
I have a +2. I have not put a single rank into piloting.
Alright. In that case, we're looking at your base attack.
Base attack for ranged, it looks like +8.
So your base attack is 6, plus your dexterity bonus, which would be +2. So 8, plus 2 from the target lock, so 10, plus 5 from the computer from Ku helping, so +15. So make a roll at +15. You guys are using the capital level torpedoes on these little guys, you realize?
Uh-oh.
Can I get another roll, please?
Are you?
Again, +15. Can we please have a critical miss card for...
I don't know if they have them for starships.
Well, draw a critical miss card. We're looking for energy... ranged, obviously. Is there anything particularly impressive on there?
Just makes sense that even on a ship I am useless with combat. Oh god. Extreme range. Dirt in the muzzle. Your weapon can't be used until it is cleaned with a successful engineering check. Energy.
So you managed.
Rocked back on your heels. You are flat-footed for 1d4 rounds.
I like that extreme range. You've managed to clog the missile. You've managed to jam the missiles. You can't use your bigger. You can't use the diamond torpedo launcher until someone spends the effort to repair it.
Okay, I'm going to just flush myself out the airlock now.
Hey, I mean, somebody's got to go out there.
Well, it's just going to be an engineering check to repair it from inside, but...
No, I tell him that. Because I'm the engineer right now. And I want him to go out there and hit it with a damn hammer.
Why did it draw that when I tried to grab the... He's going to end up moving to about there. And...
I'm just getting flashbacks to that pilot group crew game. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. Or seen it. The little... what's it called? Hold on. Where is it? Bomber Crew, that's it. Did anyone here play
So,
Bomber Crew?
actually, I managed to successfully get a target lock on the jet.
I have not played.
Uh-oh.
So... 6, 10. There's a missile currently in that square. Or basically traveling there.
There it
Looking
is.
To try and hit him. due to tracking weapons being that range, so it hasn't actually managed to impact yet.
Heavy breathing.
Ricky, you're up.
Ben, you having fun playing chicken with that missile?
Betty is actually going to have fun with it. Like,
Oh,
normally, as DM, I know do not shoot missiles at Benny, but these guys only have missiles for long-range weapons. Everything else is hex distance 5 weapons.
All right, so
You're gonna see some
going
shit,
to-
boys.
we're going to do something very reckless to unclog that son of a bad boy.
Engineering check. This is the patch.
Correct.
15 plus 2 times tier, so it would be, again, 33 DC, so... A 28 means you cannot clear the weapon jam on the torpedoes at the front.
What the fuck did you do, Professor?
On the flip side, I
There's
realize,
like 3. It's a triple feed. What the fuck, dude?
on the flip side, I realize I have made a mistake as here, moving the guy I did.
Yeah.
Because the southernmost fighter is now inside your starboard firing arc,
Interesting.
and the starboard firing arc has plasma cannons as well as torpedo launchers.
Broadside this bitch. Alright, so, since that didn't end up working, I'm gonna spend my other action to... We're gonna lock on to that guy on the right.
Make a lock-on action.
Alright, I gotta spend a resolve point. Where's my actual character sheet when I need it? There it is. It keeps disappearing on me. It's a computer's check with a resolve point. That seems pretty high.
Yep, that'll do it.
Alright, he is locked on. Gunners get a +2 bonus against that target for the rest of the round. And our engines are no longer boosted.
Alright. Pellet, you're up. You get 1 free shooting and 1 free anything you want.
Pellet?
I'm muted, sorry. I'm gonna target the, I don't know if this is north, but the uppermost smaller ship.
You can't at the moment because the only weapon in that arc is jammed.
Oh, I see.
You
The
can
guy on the-
move the you can move the ship to reposition.
Yes, what position would I need to be in to do that? Just a forward? Or is it the forward arc that's jammed?
Yeah,
Forward
the
arc
forward
is
arc is one that's jammed.
Okay, so yeah.
So you can make a turn for every 2 squares you move, for every 2 hexes you move. So if you move
2.
forward 2, you can turn left and then move the other 6 because you have 8 speed normally.
Alright, I'm not sure how to turn it at the moment.
There you go, fixed.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You don't have to move the whole distance. If you don't want to move the
6.
full 8, you don't have to.
7. I'll stick right there.
All right, so they are all in the various firing arcs.
Fantastic. I will get the closest.
All right, so noting on that, the big rat ship at the top and the fighter at the bottom both have been target locked. If it makes a difference to how you
Okay, in that case,
you might hit the target, the colony rather.
you have a point. I'll go for the lower ship. I'm not gonna dare fire or turn around and fire backwards like I used to. This is a bit risky.
All right. You are within range, so it'll be 9 plus dexterity pellet, which is 11, 16, 17, 18. So plus 18 on the attack.
Wonderful. And now I have my mouse, so it should be a lot easier.
Additionally, if you want, you can take a -2 on that and fire both cannons on that arc.
Alright, so 16, but I get 2?
You get 2 shots.
Okay. And then I'm gonna do it right this time. Can I roll straight on the ship?
No, it's not going to work that way, unfortunately. Because this game does not do it that well.
Alright, I'm on the streak of 2s, I guess.
It's not a critical.
Yeah, I'll take it. And then the second at 16.
I don't think the die resolved.
No?
I only see 1 attempted roll for you.
I didn't double it up this time because
Ah,
it
Yeah,
didn't
so I
quite.
need a. Yeah, so you can do another roll at +16 because you're firing multiple cannons in the same arc.
Oh, come
I
on!
tell you, I'm on streaks.
Wow. So 6, 1, 7, 2, 3, 11, 2, 2. You guys are not doing particularly well at rolling.
I finished out my 15 streak, but
Technically, those would be rolled at a +2.
And I bet it was at -2 because it was doing broadside.
Oh, gotcha.
Fire multiple weapons from the same arc.
4 of my last 3 turns of attacking and whatnot have been rolls of 2.
And that's the big rat's turn. Just trying to move his ship closer. Simimi, you're up.
Well, before we move, so well, okay, so we've got a +2 because we've got a lock on the guy, and it's a 2 penalty to fire, fire the full arc.
Yeah, so you can fire all weapons in the same arc for a -2.
Okay, Let's see if I can't knock the big rat down. Got another shot.
What in tarnation?
Hey,
Please.
if we get one more too, can we like just have a free critical?
Well, it's not a 2.
I thought that was a 1 for a second.
I thought so too.
I don't suppose the 26 actually hits him.
A 26 will actually hit the big rat's ship. Their AC is 25.
Fantastic.
So, you're shooting with the plasma cannon, which does a lot. Plasma cannons. So 32 damage into the rear arc.
Eat this, big rat.
Alright, the shield does appear to be holding, but you've certainly done some damage there. Probably taken about half of his shield down.
Okay. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Which has us facing... Nope, not that direction. Come on. That direction.
Alright. So you've managed to swing around. This guy is...
Having a bad day.
yeah, that's about the best he can get to. He does end up chucking a Yui to swing around. And he's within range to fire his close range gun.
Wait, hold on. How is this turning working? I'm sorry.
So he actually spun around, like making the turns and turning, but rather than move him each square and then turn, I've just moved him to the end position and flipped him around.
Okay, I was a little concerned things weren't turning the way they were supposed to, and I was like, no.
No, sorry. It's the same way Sumimi did it. Is the ship ends up here, and then we just fix the orientation.
Gotcha.
Hey, they managed to hit. They're basically using a miniature shotgun built into the nose of the ship.
I'm just imagining a shotgun stapled onto the nose, just like click, click, we're good.
So it did some damage to the retrograde.
Shield damage?
It did 6 damage out of your 150 shields.
All right, boys, we're on the ropes now. We're gonna have to pull out all the stops.
Yeah, only that's low enough that the auto, like the shield's going to regenerate themselves in that by the next combat turn.
So I vote that we just let Ku fight them herself and just sit back, because we're doing terribly.
Yeah, I can't
Could-
argue with
could
that we're
we
doing
help?
terribly.
That +5 you get on everything is coup helping.
We're
No, we'll let
disappointing coup.
We'll let Ku do the rolls, because Ku is just better.
Do a barrel roll.
So to be fair, the little ships really can't hurt you guys much. They can do damage to Benny, but they can't really hurt you. The big ship is what your combat is designed to fight. Because to put it in perspective, you heal 30 shields per facing every turn. This guy rolled average damage and did 6 damage to you. The fighters are actually there to try and be a threat to Benny. This one does actually have a mission though, and is going to end up doing a loop, sort of looping back around and ending up there. And still facing that direction. Benny, your turn.
This is where the fun begins.
He has a
can't.
missile locked onto him.
I can't turn. I can only move it. I can't turn it.
If you do shift and scroll wheel, that should turn in.
Oh, okay, weird. All right, then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 12. I gotta scroll up. 13, 14, 15, and...
You don't have to fly in a straight line, you know.
I don't. But I'm calculating... I don't know which missile this is, but I know the fastest missile in the game is 15. So I'm trying to keep my 14?
14. Fastest missile in the game is 14.
Oh. I outfly the fastest missile in the game.
That's our Benny.
Either way, I know that thing's going to come at me in a straight line, so I do need to... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It'll almost touch me, but it won't touch me.
The other thing is, if you can get within 5 of the retrograde, then the retrograde gets its flak shot.
Oh, I don't want to get within 5 of the retrograde.
Oh, you're going to try for that one, are you?
Yep!
I told you it was possible, and now you want to prove it.
I want to go for it. Besides, that's the main target. All right.
So you've done that. What else are you doing with the rest of your turn?
Let me see what my distance looks like here. It was 100, wasn't it?
Yeah.
God damn it! Oh wait,
How close are you?
I'm 110, but I can make that roll for that maneuver to 1.5 times my speed.
Yep, and it's a piloting check, 33 DC.
Yep, I need to roll a 10, basically. I rolled above a 10, let's go!
Alright,
Alright, so that's an extra
8.
Extra 8, okay. I need to position this carefully, too. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we just calculate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I'm way out of range of that now. All right. Move pointer. No, don't draw an arrow. Remove. No! I need the map. I need the map up again.
I've removed pointer. Let me reshare the map. Flying so fast, he flew out of the program.
All right.
That's our Benny.
I'm pretty sure I'm within range now. And he is with my forward arc, so I'm going to try to lock the tactical nuke on him.
Give me the roll. So it's 9, 10, 11 plus dex. So 11 plus dex.
Plus 20. Wait, no. Not plus 20, plus 16. I wish it was plus 20, dear God.
That will not do it.
Does a 22 do it? No, a 22 would not do it.
No. Critical
Dear
miscard.
Lord, we're not doing well. We're trying.
So
What do
this
you
one
mean?
will be kinetic ranged. A critical miscard for Benny for kinetic ranged that we can try and adjust to work in space combat.
Extreme melee. Kinetic. Runaway. If your weapon has ammunition, it expends 1 usage every round that you don't attack with it until empty. attacking a randomly determined target each time.
Oh,
I guess the trigger's stuck.
Yeah, he hit the launch button so hard, he's going to continually launch nukes until he's gone through all 5 of them now.
Oh.
And he has to manually choose what to shoot at, or it's choosing randomly.
I'm manually choosing the big red ship. Does that mean I still fire this round?
So that was you firing this round.
So
But when you take your thumb off the trigger stays depressed.
So do I still roll damage?
No, you missed.
I missed with the target lock?
Yeah, you fired the missile and missed.
What did it hit?
Well,
Deep
do you really
space.
want to ask that question based on the direction of the targets? Or do you want to accept a GM being nice and saying you miss?
I'm okay with a DM being nice and saying you miss.
Goodness.
It just went off into space. I'm happy with that.
Professor.
I don't know.
Fix the weapon jam you did.
Oh yeah, that.
Engineering.
Hey! Something went
he-
right!
You broke it, you fix it.
Alright, I'm gonna fire with it.
Nothing's in the front arc.
Ooh.
You got to fire it out the side. You got to use one of the side cannons.
Oh. Yeah.
You're still rolling at plus 13 if you shoot twice.
I
Yes, the little
will
one's
aim for the
14.
bigger one. The big
the big
rat
one.
ship.
So the big rat's ship's AC is 25. The smaller ones are AC 15. I warned you ahead of time. But you do get to make a second attack because you've taken the. Because you're only at plus 13. A second at plus 13.
Really? I give up with this game.
Don't ping me. No.
We have our favorite numbers, I suppose.
So that missile will end up 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14. Facing that way. And this guy is going to actually loop on after it. And he's actually going to try and launch a second one. Because they have no long-range weaponry. Can I get a critical miss card, Zim?
My hamster is getting antsy. If we be adventurers, let us adventure.
Apparently, I'm getting a mulligan.
Alright, so once you've given me the critical miss card for how badly this pilot goes, you get to roll again for your shots. Since you've already declared to shoot the big rat, it's not going to make any difference.
So, is it fire?
It's a missile, yeah, we can do fire. What's the fire?
Extreme fire. Enlightened. You gain the burning condition. 1d4 fire damage per 2 levels.
Alright, so his missile also failed to launch. But the detonator works.
You want the kinetic or energy one too?
If there's a kinetic, we'll pile on for him. What's the
Aim
kinetic?
more carefully. The attack action is a full action for 1d3 rounds.
Because he doesn't want to do that again.
No, because he's trying to put the fire in the cockpit out. Alright, and Professor, you can give me 2 attack rolls at plus 13 again.
Jim, get over here.
Yeah. What,
Roll.
how do I do that?
Click and drag the d20. Ha ha!
Listen, if you can't use new dice, use new people.
Exactly.
Alright,
His
so
luck
roll
transfer
5d12
didn't-
for damage.
His luck transfer. No, you did the damage, so you get to
Oh,
5d12.
how do I add?
Right click on the d12. 5, and there you go. Well, you got 2 1s, but you also got a 9 and 10.
I think he rolled like almost perfectly average.
Yeah, almost perfectly average.
Alright.
Actually, no, I think that is average.
So the shields are still holding on the Dreadblight for now, but those rear shields are not
Oh,
looking.
right, those are 12s, but yeah. Okay, well, at least the mulligan helped. Thank you, Karma.
Alright. Ricky.
Okay. So, so the gun is now repaired.
Yep, but
Perfect.
it's on arc only.
Fair enough. I am going to. We haven't really taken any serious damage, so I am going to. I think I'm going to do another lock onto the ship, onto the Dread Blight rather.
Alright.
So is going to be a computers check. Where does my character sheet keep going? Seriously? It's going to be a computers check. Ooh. You guys started doing better.
That will actually do it though.
Hey, I'll take it.
Because it's a level 8 ship.
Well, there we go. All right, we're not locked on. We got +2 to any gunnery checks. And I'm going to divert power. Yeah, I'm going to divert power to the guns. That is
Alright.
going to be DC. It's a level. We're a level 9 ship, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
You counted
so
level 9.
DC is 28. Engineering. Power to the guns. So instead of rolling 1s, we roll 2s. And that's it. That's my turn.
Alright, Pellet.
Yay. I'm gonna. I think we're. You know what? I want to be able to fire and not have to worry about the Warren. I'm gonna move us over some. Is it? Do we swap arcs that we can use, or is it still the side?
So the gun has your ship has equal guns on both sides. So if you either side will be able to shoot the same weaponry, and if you get in the front, then you can unload your capital class weaponry.
Okay. 1, 2.
Which, by the way, if you guys take a look at the diamond torpedo
Okay.
launcher, it intentionally doesn't
3,
have a damage
4.
listed.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I don't think we have 10 movement anymore. The engines are not
Yeah.
powered.
You have 8
9.
movement now.
8 movement, you said?
Yes, 8 movement.
Okay, then I'm in the right spot right there. Backed it up by 2. And I'm gonna fire at the big ship. The torpedo.
All right.
+2.
So it's 9 plus dex, so it'd be 11 plus 2 for 13, plus another 5 for 18. So plus 18.
Fantastic. Oh.
Oh my god.
Well, if I'm gonna move 1 away from the number, I'd rather it be a 3 than a 1.
You guys really do not want to be hitting with the diamond torpedoes, do
We
you?
want to. You kidding me?
Maybe I should be firing behind my back.
You should be going
All right.
blind.
So last time I did this was for Benny's big race, but hey, chat.
Oh boy, no,
No,
let's
not beg.
don't enable this. Do not enable this.
Please give money to Zip
No,
so
no,
we
no,
can
no, 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 no. Don't
we can
enable
play
it.
the game.
The Outer Space Foundation.
Thank you, Outer
Don't
Space
do it.
Foundation.
You're enabling this bullshit. I want to kill it fair and square, okay? And if that means
He's begging for influence to
also,
say.
does a 21 hit?
It doesn't.
No.
It's a 25. We've established.
Okay.
25 AC for the Dread Blight.
Who knows? It might have gone down.
Why would it have gone down?
I don't know.
So,
Anyway.
by the way, you guys have fired 4 of your 8 torpedoes.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah, we have.
Chat.
We got 4 more. Whose turn is it next? Oh, it's the rat's turn. He's gonna shoot us and kill us instantly. Let's go.
So he's gonna be going 1, 2. Basically, he's pulling up to dock.
Don't let him know.
Second. They are going to go ahead and make an attack at Benny, though, because the railgun's mounted on the side of the ship.
Uh-oh.
We'll be able to take a shot. What's your armor class in the jet?
I believe it's 28, but let me double check that. The jet. AC total is pilot armor class bonus. I don't know what the pilot is, but the armor class bonus is 7. The size is +2, so at least
I've
plus
got it
9.
here. It's 28.
Yeah.
So a 32 will hit.
Shit.
Did you put shields on that thing?
It does have shields, I think.
Take
Where are the
17
shields?
damage.
Where are the shields? Isn't
Yeah,
there supposed
your forward arc is 15. So if you take a look at the weapons tab of your ship,
Oh, I see. There it is. So my forward arc shields are down right now.
you've taken 17. So yeah, and your hull has taken 2 points. 2 damage is going through the hull.
Alright.
Recommend getting in his rear arc.
How do I... Oh, I guess
So-
you just add that.
Yeah, I'm just doing it now.
What do I have to do to get the shields back up?
It's an engineering check during your turn. Your shields will regenerate. What is your power unit? 90. So regenerating 2 shields a turn automatically. As opposed to the retrograde, which regenerates 30.
Seems pretty nice.
So Samimi, you're up. 2 actions. One of them has to be a piloting action. And I think Karma has got a has done the perfect influence for the perfect person.
Please. Hit.
Fire it well.
Hit.
Well, thanks to Karma, Simimi doesn't need to make a roll. Can I please get a critical hit card for the diamond torpedo?
I don't know. That card says nuke crit.
Can I get a bigger desk?
Is it what the critical card says, or are you just asking us out of nowhere?
I'm asking you for a bigger desk
My
because I've
hamster is
got
getting
too many decks
If
on
we be
this.
adventurers, let us adventure.
Wolf, unfortunately, to cancel an influence, you need to use a bigger influence.
Yep. But if you're going to use a, we will hold off for a moment.
If you want to try and use a major, which is a coin-only reward.
Crown, yeah.
Oh, sorry, a crown-only reward. No, Wolfbag, it has to be a bigger one, specifically because that way there is always a limit.
Yeah, and then basically to undo your rejection, Karma
would have to go up
to
to a gate breaking.
Yeah. If he wanted to go that high with it. Crowns are a different form of currency that we have. Alright, he's letting it go.
Alright,
what type
so
is
can
it?
I get a critical hit card from Zim for energy ranged?
This is poison track. I don't think that would apply, would it?
What's the name of it? And we'll see.
System shock.
That will actually semi-work in this instance, but not quite for poison track.
Yeah, it's
we'll call it corrosive.
It's Constitution poison track, but
Did you say it does corrosive damage to the ship? It's basically the same thing.
So, does it change the critical multiplier at all?
Nope.
Alright, Simimi, could I please get 10d10 dice rolls from you?
That's not my D10.
Roll them all.
Now, could I please get a separate 2d12 roll from you?
That's average.
That is in fact average.
Oh no, wait, that isn't. That's below average. It's just below average.
Oh yeah, no, they're
They're
default's
D12s.
not.
So, Simimi deals 56 multiplied by 11 damage, and then the entire thing is doubled because it's a crit.
Oh,
I'm gonna get
put
my
him-
calculator out.
That's 1,232 damage.
how much HP does it have though?
The Dreadblight has 300.
Okay.
So they're just about to dock, and then Samimi goes no, and then just like Luke Skywalker's their ass, and they just.
Yes.
Well,
Simimi had to be the one.
more accurately, the diamond torpedoes don't act like a normal explosion. Have everyone here seen Avengers Endgame?
Yes.
Imagine a
Hold on,
sentient
hold on.
torpedo.
Only two of us have said yes.
Is it a spoiler?
at this point, it has been out long enough. We have all had plenty of time with lockdown.
That
It is out of spoiler territory.
All right. So when
Everyone, if you don't want to spoil, mute yourself.
when Captain Marvel shows up and does her thing to the ship, imagine a sentient torpedo that does that but also breaks into smaller shards as it does it.
Wait, hold
This
on.
thing
Isn't
doesn't so much detonate as just burrow through the ship.
hold on? Doesn't that happen in the Captain Marvel movie, not Endgame?
Oh no, she does it in both.
Oh, okay.
But basically, it's a MIRV missile that will break apart and just start burrowing through and tunneling through the ship.
So we just see it like start to like slowly fall apart.
Not so much fall apart as be ripped to pieces. Like, the first time you guys fought this thing, it was, you damaged it a lot, but it recovered. There is going to be scrap left. Now, everyone can give me a perception roll, but Ricky and Professor, because you guys are also on sensors, you can't also get a separate computers roll from you guys.
Wait, I might be. Do I technically have sensors as well?
Not ship grade sensors.
Okay. But you said perception?
Yeah.
Did they ever dock, by the way? Like full dock?
Well, this is what the roll's for.
Ooh. Shit. Oh, that didn't roll, thank God! The first time I'm happy something didn't roll.
Because it gave you a 1.
Computers or perception?
It gave me a 3.
So, Ricky, you can get a computers and a perception.
All right.
Everyone else just gets a perception.
Gotcha. I took the single moment that you asked something of me to take a break.
That's
Oh
all right.
God.
That's all right. So, the only person who doesn't notice is Pellet.
What?
Oh.
I guess Ricky got good computers.
That's true.
Yeah. That's because you guys can see it on the sensors. So, specifically Zim and Ricky see it on the sensors. Benny and Samini see it physically. And Pellet doesn't see it at all. But as the Dreadblight is being basically ripped to shreds, there are numerous, and I mean numerous, like probably dozens of escape pods flying out and basically landing on the Warren.
Well, heck.
You guys head in and deal with them on foot. I've got a few issues here I gotta take care of first. I'll cover you.
On foot? What's going on?
They're landing in the station.
Oh shit.
But this isn't the nice, hey, we're all charging in through the front door landing. This is a, oh crap, we're separated, half of us are dying. This is emergency escape pods landing on the Warren, not an invasion happening.
I thought they were like going to use those escape pods as they launch the escape pod, and the escape pod tries to like breach through the wall, and then they get out.
Escape pods are not designed to do that. Escape pods are designed to keep you alive barely.
I know that, but they'd be landing on the outside of the Warren, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they're landing on the Warren. If they crash into the Warren, then you end up with a pancaked escape pod.
But this is the exterior. They can't get in.
So the fighters, these two are going run away.
Did I just gain a level in Solarian? Am I Jedi now?
Use the Force, Samimi.
Samimi, I believe that you went a little overkill there.
No such thing, Skaven. Do we have another torpedo ready?
You have 3 torpedoes left. Now, at this point, the the smaller ships are going to be breaking off and running. So I'm happy enough to call combat over if the party wants combat initiative to be over.
May I attempt to fly this missile into that one ship that's like still kind of by the
which is actually the guy who launched it.
Yes. Because I don't know how to get rid of a missile.
Well,
And he's
as of
just
next
left
time-
flying through space for the rest of time, trying to avoid it.
I mean, it would run out of like some sort of fuel eventually because it's got a.
They have 3 turns of fuel, so.
Oh, okay. Well, then,
5 turns. So.
okay, then
only
this thing's
2.
It's got at least 2 more turns. But can I at least try to like fly it into him just to add insult to injury?
Yes, because you'll have your turn first. You can position it, and then on his turn, the missile moves before him. So the question is it 16 away from him?
Is it
Oh, sorry.
16? Yes.
14 away from him.
Is it 14? 14 would literally put it the exact thing right in front of him. But with me like behind him, I don't know if he'd even be able to move.
So that would be, what's that say, 75?
It's
70.
a 70.
So that would be 14 squares exactly. Or
Oh!
14 pixels exactly.
Hey guys, watch this!
So yeah, you fly, you position, and someone gets a nice little return to sender. As combat's over, I'm not even going to bother rolling.
Yes, that's nice, Benny. Now, Samimi, that was just a little overboard, and let's not waste those torpedoes for no real reason.
So on that, Professor, it's limited number per engagement. The torpedoes do rearm themselves over time, but it takes hours to fabricate a new one.
I figured it's mostly for the joke of, ignoring what Benny just did. Because Samimi literally just destroyed this giant ship with basically one shot.
Well,
Hey guys,
the
what's
high
this?
damage from the high damage from the 2d10 made it work quite well because that was above average, and then getting a decent roll for the multiplier worked well. And this is an anti-capital ship weapon.
I should point out, it was 6% above average. That's 56 out of a potential 100.
And then it was also critical to double that as well.
Which, that did it. That's what did it.
To put it in perspective, this weapon is a coup weapon. This isn't one that's built in the game. This is a weapon from Coup herself.
New question.
Yeah?
Can I just move to start hovering over the escape pods and just firing my coil gun into them?
Yeah, you can. As I said, there were dozens of escape pods, so you can start trying to shoot escape pods down.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing cleanup and like what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to hover over wherever the heck the escape pods landed, and then just in a straight line over like the surface of the space station.
So you're also going to be putting holes in the space station that's been hit.
No. So like I'm going to basically not quite land the jet, but basically have it hovering so it's like at the same level, and have the guns firing so that they are firing, on the same horizontal level, but they're still just flying out into space if they miss.
All right, that will require attack rolls. And Wolfbag also did ask in chat, isn't it a war crime?
Isn't what a war crime?
Shooting escape pods or people abandoning ship? Which, yes, it is. I suppose the question there is...
Which is precisely why Jaffer is more than happy to let you do it.
Hold on. 1, I don't know if there's a space NATO. 2...
I think we work for Space NATO. Yeah.
We also,
I'm sorry.
consider the fact that you probably have at least 16 different station cameras pointed at you right now.
Okay, but also consider these are pirates who associate with the city mind.
Oh, what
They
about
were-
the media though?
They literally
Their
attacked
company
the
will
station.
be in the fucking ground
They are boarding the station as we speak to attack.
because they
I don't think
lost.
they're getting through the ship plating, honestly.
Well, they're also
Benny,
they're
if
bad-
somebody else
they're
doesn't
bad
publish
ship-
to the media first, I will. I will personally sink your company to the ground, Benny, if you shoot them.
Why?
Because they lost. They're fucked.
They could take hostages.
How many Skaven could fit into one of those escape pod?
at most 10.
How dense is the Warren? How many people are weapons trained?
About 17% of the population. It's a giant warehouse. What do you want?
If they start breaking through, then we fuck them up. But right now, they're barely clinging to the side of the station.
All
You
right,
also
I'll-
watched that Warren only a couple of hours ago was attacked with the main cannon from that ship, so they're going to be on alert. Non-combatants are going to be locked away in bunkers and safety. Most people who are going to be out, who've watched this fight, are going to be security personnel.
Does the Warren have any hull breaches from that blast?
Oh yes, it has a nice big hole through it.
Oof.
Has been significant damage done to the Warren.
Wait, I think that was the houseware section. Damn it! I had some
think
furniture
we-
on order. It depends on the spin. I
You
can't
should
see
double-
in there.
I want
You
to
should
patch
double-
through to the actual command center of the station.
We do have a new crew member.
What?
We haven't had one of these in forever. Or rather, one of the existing crew members that have finally been named, as we're basically doing it now.
Oh yeah.
Mei Kitsune Medic.
Cool. That's our first medic as well.
Medic!
Man!
Alright, well, if people are going to explicitly tell me not to commit what might be war crimes, I mean, again, I don't know if there was like a Space Geneva Convention. I haven't seen any written laws, but you know what? I'll go with it.
No laws against it, maybe, since we're private, but footage of it's going to get out. That's not going to look good by a CEO. Especially one trying to atone for his past fucking crimes, Benny.
Who the hell said I was trying to atone for fucking anything?
You? Like an hour ago?
After having this discussion, Zim, you get 2 pings on your device. One is an automated ping from Toby Kale's biomonitor saying that, well, something's wrong. And the other is a ping from your chemical storage saying that one of your doses of your polymorph serum is missing.
Uh-oh.
The professor will bring that up with everyone else and immediately swap Ember for Toby.
It looks like Toby managed to get a hold of one and nom-nommed one of your doses and is now just a normal Martin.
Oh,
At least it's temporary.
what is that thing?
Was this like a...
It was an influence.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was curious.
Though I'm pretty sure that was meant for a player, but that works.
Are you saying that Toby doesn't count? There's Toby less than a player, less than a character.
Ooh, throwing
Got
some
him.
shade. Throwing some shade at your own pets. At your own Pokemon.
What is that thing?
This would be a creature known as a marten. They are a mustelid. They're basically fluffy tree noodles. They're somewhat rare, however, still thriving on their native planet. I have no idea if Earth actually exists in this setting, so...
It does not. We've been
Does
over
not.
this like 3
Okay.
times.
And because we're doing Martins, I'll use my free Martin gift.
So did you say tree noodles? Are they like ramen?
Somewhat. They basically live up in trees. They enjoy climbing a lot.
So people eat them?
Oh, no. In fact, they actually, sometimes eat people.
To suck eggs.
Moderate ethereal influence. Ooh.
I will get that up after the Martin gif.
What was it, a GIF?
No.
At Kokoro,
It's a GIF.
Martin ramens are just a bath.
Zorro, I'm gonna deny this one outright because those would not be... Skaven would not care about protecting any of those. In fact, they'd probably have been killed by their own crew members. But I'll send it to you, Jaffer, because, you know. So
Oh
you
yes,
know
but
what
as
it
I was briefly trying to say before, if I cannot commit war crimes, I'm going to basically hover there and do intimidation factor and tell them not to move.
There you go. That's the right way to do things.
Yeah, Zorak, I'm gonna have to turn that down. The last time these particular pirates had to abandon this same vessel, they literally left sick, injured on the ship, to the point that the party even rescued a couple.
Yes, we still have them.
Squeak, the chef.
Yeah. And later Tun,
there
but
is
not
another
quite
one
the
as
same.
well, yeah.
Squeak and Tun.
Ton? Yep. That's alright. So yes, communicating. So while the professor's giving Toby probably a little bit, why did you eat that? Where did you even get that?
Basically, yes.
I believe Benny was saying they were going to try and hook into the tower.
I was.
Basically, ATC.
That was Ricky.
Ricky. So you do manage to get a hold of ATC, or STC probably in this instance.
Mm-hmm.
Star Command.
Right in the nick of time we arrived, didn't we?
Yes, they are very thankful that you showed up. While the Warren does have defensive systems, it's mostly there to fight rogue asteroids.
I can imagine this is a bit much. Keep an eye out for one, the big rat. I'm thinking he's going to be a little bit rascally and might find his way on board anyways.
They're reporting that they are having boarders already have managed to make it in some areas. So far, they are being contained by security, but they are seeing a large number congregating near the breach that the ship caused.
I turn around from my chair. So maybe get out of the helm. Get over here.
I was trying to type up terms of surrender.
Well, I mean,
What?
we can. I've got space traffic on the horn. You want to tell him anything?
Janet sucks.
You heard it from her. I can't account for the whatever. Give us we'll be in to help fend off those borders. I've got a feeling that the big honcho up top made it out.
Of course he did. He has a private escape pod right next to the bridge just for him.
That's what. I don't know that.
He used that last time.
Because you guys
No. We used that last time.
We used it last time. We
Oh,
don't know we
right, you're
reinstalled
right.
it. We don't know how fast the ship like went up as far as the bridge goes.
I mean, as far as we're concerned,
We
this
don't
thing
know.
should still be maroon.
Yeah, we
I-
have no idea how this thing even got unburnt.
We took the drift.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get on our tech net and say, well, let's go inside.
Right, boo?
Either way, I need to buy some shit, and two, they're reporting borders in pretty heavy concentrations. So,
Well, good
Why the
place to
fuck?
buy stuff.
anyways, so maybe don't you have business here?
I've
Also,
got family here.
well, yeah, that too. Whose ship are we taking, or am I walking?
You can dock the retrograde.
It's gonna take a while. And I don't know if we want to inject that much mass into the equation when the Warren's been so heavily hit. Best to leave the retrograde here. Take a different ship.
We've got landing craft. We can use them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want us to go straight into the breach, or do you want us to go through the station?
If you're confident going straight for the breach, having someone from the outside would help, because that way we can focus on sealing it closed. If you guys wish to come inside, you can help us breach through on our own terms. So we'll go with you. You guys are obviously the more experienced combatants.
You know this place a lot better than we do. Get some nice ambush points up. That ought to even the scales.
Samimi glances pointedly at Pellet. I think we might need to go from the outside.
Yeah, let's go from the outside.
You've got or I suppose you could get us in if anyone can.
I mean, we could, but, well...
If there's a door, I'll make sure it opens.
How flexible is that armor?
You have a point. Maybe I should go without.
Pellets, basically bounty hunter armor.
Yeah.
The power armor in small spaces designed for Isoki. Not power armor, rather.
What are you guys doing?
It's
heavy
legally
armor.
distinct from power armor.
I know, very much distinct.
Legally.
You got a license to wear that power armor?
So the heavy armor doesn't encumber as much, so it's basically just the armor encumbrance. You can still squeeze through anything that you could normally squeeze through. Power armor, on the other hand, doesn't so much squeeze, bend the shape of the hull.
Power armor is no longer asking. And
What
then
are you
the
guys
car
planning?
we're done talking.
We should probably reinforce them from the outside.
Yeah,
Reinforce what?
the station defenders.
Oh yeah, probably.
They're starting to head in through the breach. Borders, rather.
I'm literally hovering over them right now. I could start shooting them down.
Do you want to get in there? Not the escape pods, may I remind you. Actual boarders heading in through that giant breach in the hull.
Yeah, I can go over there and start laying down some air support.
Make sure they're armed.
He starts like hovering over to that area of the ship.
All right, so you do have some openings for holes to shoot through, but it appears they are mostly moving further into the Warren, just using the giant breach that was caused by the Dreadblight's main cannon as an entry point, because this way they don't need to cut through doors or the like, and they're not exposed to the outside while trying to breach.
I'd like to start trying to cut them down with my chain cannon. At least the ones that look like they're actually hostile.
Did we put a chain cannon on your ship as well, did we?
I'm sorry, not a chain cannon.
Coil gun.
Coil gun.
Coil gun, that's it. I'm just hovering there and I'm strafing left and right in coil, getting them all down.
So the
At least as
coil
many as I
gun
can.
is a slow firing, long range, basically rail gun or light rail gun.
Yep.
So it's less dakka and more shunk.
Okay.
Snipe them.
Basically, yeah. So yeah, from there, give me a gunnery roll then. So it would be 9 plus agility. I think that's just it for you. 9 plus agility.
You mean dexterity?
Yeah, sorry, dexterity.
Alright, that's still a decent roll. Just a flat 20, no piloting?
It's your piloting skill. Also, your piloting ranks, which is 9 for you, because level 9. Plus dexterity, and there's no other bonuses there, so that's the roll. Let's see.
So
what you get.
basically my piloting roll minus any other bonuses I would have to my piloting roll.
Basically.
That's weird, but okay.
Well, that's how space combat is. You can use your base attack or your piloting ranks. Because that way, that's always capped at your level.
I guess. Fair enough. I shouldn't have rolled. I should just,
Yeah, with a 17, you're not going to particularly be getting that many of them. I'm assuming you're not getting many of them because you're not getting that in clear shots, as opposed to putting shells into the warren.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
I was like, ooh, there's one. Oh, no, he's gone. Ooh, there's one. No, he's gone.
Would it be more efficient to start, flying so low that I just basically start running them over?
Well, at this point, it's more... You're not catching them on the surface. This is a big tangled, basically, hole that got shot into the station, and you're flying in the hole, looking down corridors, trying to catch them as they're moving within the structure.
Oh, I didn't think I was going that deep, but yeah, sure, let's go. Is there a place I can land in the hole?
You can land around it. There's enough flat areas you could potentially land. Yeah.
All right, I'll land on the outside where it looks like, because I assume they're all coming from one side.
No, they're coming from escape pods that have just sort of landed haphazardly around the place.
Oh, I figured all the escape pods landed basically immediately outside where the big rat was trying to dock.
It seemed like where they were trying to aim, but they had seconds to escape.
So they should be like a shotgun cluster in that area.
Sort of, yeah.
And then is that area just the same general area that the hole was, or was the hole somewhere else?
No, they were aiming for the hole.
Okay.
So the shotgun area is around the hole.
All right. Does my ship have theft protection?
Theft protection?
Can I land in what?
Your ship does not have theft protection, but you can land and have the ship autopilot itself back to the retrograde.
That works well enough for me. So wait, hold on. If someone gets in the retrograde, they could literally just steal the jet?
If someone gets in the retrograde, they could steal everything.
I don't think Ku would allow that.
Yeah.
You say that, but we just came out of
Anyways,
a situation where Ku was taken down by our enemies, for several sessions, and we had to work around that. So I don't know if we can rely on Ku as a security system. No offense to Ku.
Here's a little tip from the GM. I intentionally wanted you guys in a hurry to get here, so you couldn't think about the repercussions from Mara, Ku, and the resolution to that.
Hey, guess what, GM? I think thunk.
No, but you guys, I've tried to keep up pace, so you guys are now in a bit of a rush. There's no, we can sit down and spend a day doing this. Well, no, you can't.
Yeah, we've had a lot of sessions in the same general area, so
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to add a bit of tension to it.
All right.
And the fact that you guys had forgotten until I pointed it out means I'm doing a good job. I just always want to be fair.
Forgotten until you pointed what out? Jeff?
About how the repercussions of Mara releasing Ku, the security on that front. I know you guys originally spoke about possibly upgrading Ku's security so something like this can't happen again from the City Mind.
Right.
But I've tried to keep the pace up so you guys can't, or at least haven't had the opportunity to do that yet, or discuss it.
I mean, we just got Ku back, so like...
Hold on.
Yes,
Please. As I am going to start getting ready to leave the ship, trying to make sure that it's in a position where we can kind of exfil from it pretty easily, and maybe even just do a quick spacewalk over to the Warren. Because at the moment I don't have any way of flying.
Well, you have Zim's shuttle as well that's maneuverable enough that it can land on the surface of the station or get you guys near.
Mm.
My shuttle is very maneuverable. It's just a matter of it doesn't have I don't think it has any weapons. Instead, it sacrificed weapons for the sake of maneuverability, speed, and shield strength.
I don't think we need it. We just need to get close.
And scanners. Like super duper scanners.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry.
You've got good scanners, science lab, the tech workshop, good thrusters, good armor, and good crew quarters, but no weapons.
Don't worry. They're inserting too far into the ship for any of them to really think about attacking us. Plus, they know that I've been shooting them down, so I think they're all scattering. Just get here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I know it's slightly early, like
Go
10
for
minutes
the eyes,
early.
Boo. Go for the eyes! Rusk!
Oh dear.
That's a game breaking.
You had to say something.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, I did not expect that to go as quickly as it did. So I do not currently have the map for the boarding prepared. But considering we're only 10 minutes till the end.
Bad GM,
Well,
not
on.
prepared. 5 out of 10.
Hold on. What was the influence?
I'm going to say yes to that one.
We can save it for next week.
Or it could be your cliffhanger question mark?
I mean, not much of a cliffhanger there.
Looks at Jaffer.
Yeah, I'm just sorting something out. But yes, it is going to be accepted.
I don't like that you're rolling dice.
Well, I'm trying to figure out who something happens to.
Oh dear.
Uh-huh.
So yes, while you're all in the shuttle bay getting ready, like loading up onto the professor's shuttle, Could I please get a fortitude save from everyone?
Oh,
Hell yes.
boy.
Let's go.
I don't like this. I assume human constitution. No, wait, fortitude.
Fortitude.
There it is. Please, dear God. That's decent.
I'm back to my 15s.
There you go.
So, Zim, that little polymorph potion you have. What's the DC?
I just sent it to you in PM.
So, you're not sure how this one worked, but Ember managed to get his hands on some of that polymorph stuff as well. Only, it didn't seem to have any effect on him. He was able to eat it, even without any problems.
Oh God.
And
Now you're
he's
giving
just
me
let out
ideas, Jaffer.
he's just let out a big fiery burp that's laced with that material.
Oh.
And everyone but Pellet has failed the save.
Oh,
You've now all partially been polymorphed into half Martin, half whatever you were before hybrids.
wow. Again, I failed to be polymorphed.
But we're still like full humanoid, right?
Oh yes,
Okay.
but you're all now Martin morph on top of what you were.
I'm a Martin with really long ears.
This is the second time it's been everyone but him. I find that fascinating. When I've been rolling low all day.
Does polymorph specifically say that it works on constructs?
For a game-breaking influence?
Polymorph potion does not work on me. Because it requires a fortitude save. Hey boys, let's go.
Ricky just turns into a Martin skeleton instead.
I don't, yeah.
Oh, if Ricky, if you want to call that it doesn't affect you because you're robotic, I'll
I don't
accept that.
breathe, so.
Okay, so Ricky and Pellet both avoided it.
Just get what's that sealed environment. This fucking
Well,
crew is out
But
of
the fact that
control.
you don't have to breathe, everyone else. So yeah, because you weren't prepared for
this
it.
is
Yet.
this is interesting. I might have to study this for future applications. This could be very useful.
Oh, it was a fucking poison.
Did I just give Zim's polymorphing more power by having
Yes.
aerosol it?
Yes, you did.
Oh no.
That's a game breaking. I'm happy with that as a side effect.
And we don't have time to. Wow, my voice. Wow. Okay. Wait, no time. Onward.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening for Retrograde Renegades Starfinder. I will be back in a few minutes with The Sims 4, so do stick around for that. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, all those things there on the website as well as down in the description below. please consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com. I am attempting to stream full-time now, but I cannot continue to do so without your support. So please consider becoming that patron and keep these streams coming to you all. But for now, stick around and I will be back. I bid you all the most fondest adieu for now.
Thank you for coming, everyone.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye! Sorry.
Next time I'm
That was
going
a
to exit the
terrible-
call before you can say that.
That was a terrible one. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, it was just terrible. So
I was muted.
Bye-bye!
I had to say goodbye. Zoom question.